but, I had it queued up. And, Todd, I don't know if you see it back there as we got a late start here, but there on the homepage, there is a song that I want you to start playing if you see it, because it's by Simon and Garfunkel, and I think it's very appropriate for what we're going to talk about today. Thank you very much. As that's exactly how I started last night and today with the lyrics of Simon and Garfunkel as a New York Jets fan, because Aaron Rodgers, it's official, is out for the entire season with a ruptured Achilles tendon after 4 snaps for the New York Jets.
4 plays. That's all we got a chance to see from Aaron Rodgers. Now, we did see him run out with the American flag.
Yes.
Saw 4 plays. There was a lot of excitement as he's taking the field. You could hear, it was coming through loud through the TV, and everybody was excited to see what this was going to look like. And then after 4 plays, you see what it looked like going back to last year with Zach Wilson under center.
I just, I was looking at the game last night, and I appreciate, first off, everybody who was texting me or tweeting at me or whatnot about sorry about the Jets, or some of you were just making fun of it because it was the Jets, whatever it was. But
and Mike Greenberg both.
Yeah, like Mike Greenberg couldn't even get through his intro, it sounded like. He was struggling.
Oh, his daughter was having some fun also.
Oh, I can imagine.
She's like, for everybody out there that's concerned about my dad, yeah, you should be.
Yeah, like I just
and it's bad.
I felt it. I felt like I was seeing and just knowing what he had to go through, and knowing everybody talking about it. I even tweeted out, and again, it's like you can call it karma or whatever. But I even tweeted out as I saw the ESPN video that they put up on social media, whereas Aaron Rodgers warming up ahead of his Jets debut, and it showed him just throwing the ball. And I'm like, I quote tweeted and said, I haven't been this excited for the Jets season in a while. And I even said, I'm sure the Jets won't let me down this season.
Oh, they haven't. They won.
Yeah, they won. All right.
That's the backstory.
Yeah. I mean, that was the only silver linings in the whole dadgum thing. But yes, they did win the game in thrilling fashion, as you heard there in the intro. But it's like kind of like you may have won the battle, but you lost the war, because Aaron Rodgers being out for the full season. I've never seen anything like it. I know that there's injuries that happen. It's part of sports. I know that there's always debuts and players that you get excited about that may not pan out or whatever. But I cannot think, at least off the top of my head, in major sports, anything like this, where it was all this buildup, all this hype, all this excitement, because the Jets had a lot of great players around them, and they were a young team that had an up and coming. They were just missing a quarterback, so they got him. And then you had the process of all that. Then you had Hard Knocks going into all of it. You had the excitement with the preseason, and then literally 4 snaps into the game, and he's out. You can't. People talk about NFL being scripted. No one's scripting that one. You couldn't write a story as traumatic as what that is. And I hate it for Aaron Rodgers. I hate it for the NFL just in general. But I've never seen anything like that, where all of that comes crashing down within 4 plays of the opening of the season.
Yeah, there have been some major injuries in the first game of the season, but it was so different in the fact that you're talking about a player that everybody was looking forward to in a new location. That's the biggest thing. The Jets having all these primetime games and being on the NFL schedule, and it's all changed now. The fact that he's not going to be in the mix. Now, the Jets as a team, as an organization, they're going to be able to move on and move forward. But as far as with some of that excitement and some of the games that they're going to be involved in, it changed the vibe altogether.
Yeah, it wrecked it. I mean, anything that you had as far as excitement goes has been completely and totally wrecked. And it's just, again, it's unfortunate for the Jets and unfortunate for Aaron Rodgers. And I know that there's a lot of speculation about what will be the future for him, whether or not he's going to, is he going to go to the next step and try to come back for another year? Is this something he's just going to retire because he is up there in age? And an Achilles tendon is not easy to bounce back from. Do the Jets, do they run with Zach Wilson? Do they try to sign some other
quarterback?
They
have to at this point.
I know. And that's kind of like the whole, like, again, I'm looking at it from the fan perspective. It's like, you're exactly where you were a year ago. That's exactly what it was. It's that all that Aaron Rodgers stuff was almost like it didn't happen. All the excitement's right. It just didn't happen. It didn't matter. And I feel for Zach Wilson even, because it's like we wasn't trying to get in there right now. He was hoping to just chill as the backup and, make some money and maybe come in some garbage time at some point in time, Or, if maybe he gets a little dinged up, he comes in and hands the ball off to Brees, like maybe something like that. But here it is.
There's going to be a lot of that going on.
Thank good. Yeah, that's the only way that they can find a way with him and Dalvin Cook back there. So it's helpful in that regard. But
they do have a lot of new teammates that came over from the Packers, so they do have some receivers to look forward to. And then you mentioned Dalvin Cook there. Dalvin Cook wouldn't have been there without the signing of Aaron Rodgers, along with some of those other players. But that's what enticed Dalvin Cook to go to the Jets in the first place. So they have some pieces there, and the defense, they already had pieces last year. They look just as good, if not better, than they were at this point last year.
Yeah, I mean, the win was great, and the defense was extremely exciting, and the offensive pieces are there. The offensive line's really
that
bad.
Is where the drop off is.
Bad. I mean, we've talked about Arkansas's offensive line as if they were struggling. No. Watch the Jets' offensive line, and you'll see what struggling offensive line looks like.
Well, we saw the result of it.
Yeah, I mean, they are
with Aaron Rodgers going down.
I just 4 plays. That's all you could do. It's all we'd make work is 4 plays. Can't have it. But it's today when Robert Saleh said yesterday after the game when it was going to be Zach Wilson, are they going to move forward with him? He says, yeah, he'll be the guy. And then
now he probably said it with a little more more confidence than what you just said.
Probably.
But yeah, that is the truth. That's the reality that they're faced with.
Yeah, well, don't worry, because they also have journeyman Tim Boyle on the practice squad.
He's going to be elevated, so he'll be the backup
who,
now.
I don't even know who that is.
He played for the Packers, so there's a connection there where Nathaniel Hackett was the Packers offensive coordinator, so he knows the offense.
Well, I've seen people bring up like, call Tom Brady's agent. Tom Brady's not coming to the Jets. Like, it's just not happening. So don't even bring up Tom Brady, throwing out names like Carson Wentz.
Now he will go to the Jets.
Oh yeah,
if he gets the call, he's going.
Yeah, he's going to the Jets. He'll go to the Jets. Nick Foles, I think, was another name mentioned. He'd go to the Jets. Joe Flacco.
Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy. Yeah, he is available.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Now we can get back on the Super Bowl train with those guys. And listen, I'm at the point now where
well, hey, the train needs a new name. It was the hype train, so it was the Super Bowl train. It could be the hype train.
Yeah, it can. It's all it's going to be is hype at this point in time. I look at it as a perspective of okay, that it's a sad thing. It sucks. There's still maybe some good players on this team that can make some noise, maybe go to the playoffs, but you can't win the Super Bowl without Aaron Rodgers, and that was an expectation.
Zach Wilson's not thinking that. He's in a different mindset.
Well, he can think all he wants. He can think all of that. His mindset's in his in his mom's friends. That's where his mindset's usually at.
They do have a good Wilson on the team though that made a great play last night. So
phenomenal.
When you're thinking Wilson, there is a really good player named Wilson.
Can he play quarterback too? Can we have him out there?
Maybe he could. He's that talented.
Do the Wildcat with Garrett Wilson. I'd accept it. Whatever. Have a Dalvin Cook back there playing quarterback if that's what it takes. But again, it sucks. It's the way I knew that it was too good to be true. There was going to have to be something that happened. But I'll fully admit I would have never dreamed in a million years. I don't think anybody would have that it'd last 4 plays and the season's done. It's over. And just can't.
It was one game, and they won that one game.
And I will get that was again the silver lining where it got me excited. The way that they won in overtime with a walk-off punt return for a touchdown was awesome.
That was exciting.
That was really cool. And even the great catch, as you mentioned, by Garrett Wilson, the defense played really well. Now his name just escaped me, but the guy that had 3 interceptions last night for the Jets.
Yeah, Josh Allen. So the defense did play well, but Josh Allen didn't play well. So you had a combination going on because the Jets defense is really good.
For sure.
But Josh Allen helped the defense a lot.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is that for the Jets to win games, they have to hope the other team screws up a lot. That's what I'm getting because that's how I feel pretty much.
3 interceptions to the same guy.
Yeah, I know.
Whitehead, he had a career night.
He was great. Wilson was great. Not that Wilson. The other Wilson. Zach Wilson wasn't too bad. But hello, darkness, my old friend. Come to talk to you again. As a Jets fan, that's how it is. It's okay, though. I'm numb to it at this point in time. It's the way it had to be this way. It's the Jets way. But, hey, listen, we still got a lot of great things to talk about today as we're broadcasting live here at Arkansas Urology in Whitehall. Be sure to come on out and see us, 7211 Dollarway Road. We're going to be out here till 4 o'clock this afternoon. We got some great things to talk about as the show goes on here on Out of Bounds, so stay with us.
Arkansas State fans, listen up. The Red Wolves' home in Central Arkansas is 106.7 Buzz 2. Listen every week for Sunbelt Conference action with the Red Wolves, only on 106.7 Buzz 2.
This is SportsCenter.
In the NFL, the Chiefs and defensive lineman Chris Jones have agreed to a one-year deal worth up to $25 million after incentives. His base salary is worth $19.5 million. He missed week 1 due to the contract dispute. Between missing the game, training camp, and workouts, he was fined $3.6 million. Jones is coming off a season where he had 15.5 sacks. Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins is likely to hit free agency next offseason as he doesn't intend to negotiate with Cincinnati after an initial low offer. Higgins had 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. And the Arkansas Travelers entered their final regular season series. They'll face the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, and they'll play 1.5 games today, as Game 1 will be a completion of a game started on July 9th. That game will start in the bottom of the 4th with the Naturals up 4-3. First pitch is set for 5:15. First pitch of the second game is set for 7:05. Coverage of both games can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
You know, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. QC Kinetics can change your life. You can live again without chronic joint pain and without drugs or surgery. Hey everybody, it's RJ Hawk. QC Kinetics is advanced regenerative medicine. They take your body's own concentrated healing properties and put them right back into your joints to restore and repair that damaged tissue without surgery. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Finally, a new alternative to the old ways of dealing with pain. And unlike surgery, there's no downtime with QC treatments. If you have constant pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, or back, you need to call and get a free consultation from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics today. Imagine this fall moving around pain-free, doing the things that you love again, like walking, hiking, or even playing with those grandkids. Call QC Kinetics today for that free consultation. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
Justin Anker reminding you that if you want the job done right, then don't stress. Just go with the best. CertaPro Painters is your go-to painting company. You can get your free estimate scheduled at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. People who are going to be responsible and people who are going to be accountable to you and your family to make sure your project gets done right. So if you've been thinking about sprucing up your home or business for the fall season that is almost upon us, you need to get CertaPro on the case. Use the company that I've used many times over the years. It is CertaPro Painters. You'll be happy you did.
Listen for offensive lineman Josh Braun Tuesdays this football season on Out of Bounds. Josh Braun is brought to you by Matt Black with Allstate Insurance. Matt Black with Allstate can take care of your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, renters, and landlord insurance. Are you in good hands?
This is Pat Bradley for Whit Davis Lumber Plus. Whit Davis Lumber Company is your blueprint for success. Whether you're a professional contractor or just need a hand being handy, Whit Davis is your partner for getting the job done right. From quality materials to tools for projects inside and out, they understand how important quality is when it comes to your home. So when you're in need of a lumberyard or hardware store, think of my friends over at Whit Davis. You can find them in Jacksonville, Cabot, Sherwood, and Greenbrier, or online at whitdavis.com.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable, fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
It's not just about the size of the meat, it's about where you get it from. So get it from Hogs Meat Market in North Little Rock. Hogs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
I bet you slice into the woods $100. Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slice. Okay, you can own me.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Somebody hand me a cigarette. I know I ain't had one in over a week. Somebody pour me a double shot. Been getting better by the day, but tonight I drink. You say I gotta get over you and get sober too. I got a lot of habits I gotta kick. Weigh out all your options and take
It's Out of Bounds, broadcasting live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall at 7211 Dollarway Road. As we're going to be out here until 4 o'clock this afternoon, but the events here are going to start a little bit early at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So come on out and see us, and then we're going to have a great time and seeing everybody out here who comes out to, of course, being part of September of National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Arkansas Urology is the leader in prostate cancer care, and for over 25 years, Arkansas Urology has been dedicated to bringing world-class care to Arkansans, especially since prostate cancer is diagnosed about every 2 minutes in the United States. So you can schedule your free prostate screening by calling 501-263-0926 or visit arkansasurology.com for more information, or you can just come out here and see us here at Arkansas Urology in Whitehall. It was raining a little bit earlier, but now it seems like it's just a little cloudy, but we're outside having a good time. We have this under this awning too, so we don't have to worry about any of the weather here, and they have this new location in a nice building that's spacious and plenty of people ready to help you out when you come on by.
Should start getting a prostate screening at age 40. So if anybody out there is listening and you're of that age or you're close to that age, you can come early. You don't have to be 40 or over. You can still start the process of getting screened. And then you're going to have the opportunity with that screening, a chance to win a 65-inch TV if you come by today.
Yeah, and it's a nice TV. We saw it brand new in the box, and we know with football season being here and the amount of people that enjoying the football season that want to be a part of it, it's going to be a great gift to somebody who's going to enjoy having it out there. So, but we have a few people I know that's been patiently holding on the phone line. So let's go ahead and work through some of those as we got. Let's start with Tony in Texas. What's up, Tony? All right. How about Matt in the Rock? What's going on, Matt?
Hello, how are y'all?
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Oh, it's another beautiful day, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
How are y'all? Y'all doing great?
Yeah. We are, man. We're here at Arkansas Urology in Whitehall today, and we're here. We're gonna greet some people as they come by.
Yeah.
Hey, good deal, fellas. I lost my mom earlier, just a few weeks ago, so it's been a rough start for the Razorbacks and the sports season. But I feel like we can all relate on a level here. We all lost this weekend, didn't we, Joe? All three of us lost.
And yeah, there was some loss. The Jets won the game, but there was some loss.
The Steelers looked terrible.
They did.
They looked terrible. I felt bad watching as long as I did, honestly. And oh my goodness, poor Aaron Rodgers. But poor John Nabors. That's when I saw Aaron Rodgers go down last night. My first thought was, oh man, poor John.
Yeah, Matt. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I look at it as, don't be sorry that it's over. Just be happy that it happened, and we got to see him run out of the tunnel and take a couple of snaps because that was worth it. I'm absolutely kidding. It wasn't worth it at all.
Hey, what kind of opening was that? It
was incredible.
I mean, that was an outrageous opening.
Yeah.
And then everybody's complained about the turf there at that field for years. And I saw people quick to jump on the Twitter wagon. Oh, the turf got another one.
It had nothing to do with it.
I think yeah, you're right. I think what happened was they put too much money into getting him offensive pieces and didn't even look at the garbage line they had in front of them. It was a bunch of trash bags, and they left them all there.
Yep.
They got him 3 receivers, a tight end, and they left all the trash bags right in front of him. I mean, that was evident from snap 1 through 4. But guys, to top it off, my Broncos, well, we were leading, the Raiders leading them 16-10 the whole way. And then you give up some duty play to end the game. It was a terrible week for football. Arkansas was terrible. They gave up so many wide open potential plays. You know, we gave up those one or two long passes, but how many did they almost hit? You know, put an SEC quarterback there. They're going to rip us apart. We could have given up 450 yards of offense just through the air on Saturday, guys, if we had played a good team. We got some good spots. We looked way better than I thought in a lot of spots. D-line, but golly, bro, that secondary is terrible. And I think all of our NFL teams' offensive lines could have definitely used more work in the offseason. Fellas, I will hang up and listen. Y'all have a wonderful day.
All right.
Appreciate it, Matt.
Appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for calling in, man. Yeah, it's like, you know, that was going back to this whole point about the opening of the game and the emotions, of course, with September 11th being there in New York City was outstanding. And of course it was met. I like, as far as roller coaster emotions go, I have never been in one. Just as a Jets fan watching a game where the highest of highs, immediately the lowest of lows, so much of what's going on. And then, you know, you start to think about how the game's going to go, but then to have the great plays and then to be able to take the lead and, you know, you feel great about it. But then the Bills go down and kick a field goal that doinks and goes in. Like, just the likelihood of that is incredible. And then in overtime, you force a 3-and-out and the punt return. I mean, it was all over the place. And again, it's just unfortunate that the Aaron Rodgers situation overshadowed a lot of the game itself. But it was an incredible game and an incredible atmosphere and a lot of energy there from beginning to end.
Yeah, great game as far as the flow and how it all played out. But it once again, that's kind of the backstory of the game itself. All the focus was on Aaron Rodgers, and now that everybody knows he's not going to be available, now the Jets have to try to pull it together as best as they can and just move forward.
Yep, they're going to have to adjust. And Tony in Texas, who was on the phone lines, he texted in on our Southern Structural Solutions text line. He said, "Hey, John, couldn't hold on any longer. I'm so sorry, brother. That's just horrible. I hate it for you, man, especially with the Cowboys and Jets game coming up and the way the Cowboys started the season." Tony Hogg fan. Texas, so.
Oh, boy.
Thank you.
Everybody's already counting the losses.
Yep, trust me.
Even though it doesn't happen like that, they still have to play the game.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. Again, I'm not trying to, criticize anybody that thinks otherwise, but listen, the Jets they have a great defense. And they do have some offensive pieces. Yes, they don't have an offensive line and they don't have a quarterback now. But it's not like you went from being a Super Bowl contender to now you're gonna fully miss the playoffs at getting only for 3 wins. Like, I feel like it changes a lot, obviously, but there's still things about this team that's pretty good. You know, there's still some elements to it too. So I guess we have a special guest here on the hotline, don't we?
Yes, we do. NFL agent Chris Turnage is with us, and Chris was at the game last night.
Geez.
How's it going, Chris?
What's up, guys? How are y'all?
We're doing good.
I've been better.
I hear you. It's a crazy mood for Jets fans for sure.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's almost like it's so on brand for the Jets of something like that to happen that, it's shocking and upsetting, but it's like, hey, that's the life. That's the life of a Jets fan right there in a nutshell.
Yeah, they finally get their quarterback, and then, obviously goes down. I will say this, Zach Wilson actually looked better after the first couple drives. And as you guys are talking, I mean, the Jets defense, the running game. So Xavier Gibson's one of my guys. I was talking to him after the game. He said everybody's still optimistic, at least right now, because they feel, they've seen Zach. Now, I know that's the company line, not the party line, so to speak, but they were at least somewhat optimistic. Obviously helped that they ended on a victory, but it does hurt for all Jets fans for sure.
Xavier Gibson has a great story. Also, going back to Hard Knocks, when he and one of the other receivers, they became really good friends and they were hanging out, but they were also competing at the same time. And then for Xavier Gibson to be the guy that makes the team and then makes the winning play last night, just a great story.
Yeah, it's crazy. We thought he would get drafted. He went undrafted. He had 28 offers from across the league as far as to sign as an undrafted free agent. The Jets told us, hey, if he comes here, he will be our punt returner. We don't even have a starting punt returner. If you remember last year with Braxton Berrios, now with Miami. And they said, we've got Mecole Hardman. He's not going to punt return. It will be Xavier. And so sure enough, they lived up to their bargain. He made the team, and I told Xavier if he made it, I'd be there for his first game. And so he did it, and it was crazy for him to walk it off like that. It was a really cool deal.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about what that moment was like, just being there in person and knowing that it's your guy to win a game that had so much emotions going into it for all different types of reasons, to walk it off at home and seeing the dog pile. It's like, obviously the Aaron Rodgers thing was pretty devastating, but the team and the coaching staff, Robert Saleh going down there into the end zone, almost like Rex Ryan did running in, just showing the excitement from that level, at least was a nice silver lining in what was a pretty devastating night for Jets fans.
Yeah, it was funny. Xavier's he's a real happy-go-lucky guy, and I don't know if you guys saw the quote. They said, "What were you thinking at the bottom of that dog pile?" He's like, "Man, I was trying to breathe. Those guys are really heavy. I was trying to get out." And so yeah, but he was as you can imagine, all smiles after the game, and he was still carrying around that football after, and everybody was wanting to do interviews. And it's crazy. We've had 7 different New York places and Sirius XM Radio reach out this morning trying to set up different things with him, and so it's kind of cool to see.
Chris, did you have any other clients involved in the game last night, or what are your plans as far as going to some other games to see some of your guys?
Yeah, we had a guy on a practice squad last night, so he didn't play, but on one of the teams, but so at least got to see him. That's always a little more difficult for them as they're not getting to dress out or anything. But yeah, at some point, got to get up to Kansas City. B.J. Thompson was the only Arkansas native drafted last year by the Chiefs. He also went to Stephen F. Austin, so he and Zay were teammates. And so going to try to get up there. And then, really cool story, Blake Groupie, one of my guys kicked at Arkansas State for 4 years, then kicked at Notre Dame last year, and is the Saints starting kicker, beat out Will Lutz, and he went 3 for 3 opening weekend, and so that was cool to see as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a cool time right now for you, I know, especially, and some of your guys that are getting out there too. So got any more trips planned up either this weekend or in the coming weeks to make some other games?
Well, this weekend I'll be in Fayetteville for the BYU game for sure, and then we'll see after that. But yeah, I do definitely be going to other games. I don't necessarily have them planned out yet, but I'll be in Fayetteville this weekend, so maybe I'll see you guys up there.
Chris, you have been at some games to see some kind of odd things that happen at times. The game last night, Aaron Rodgers has the injury. You were at a game, was it a couple of years ago or within the last couple of years, where they had to delay the game at SoFi Stadium because of lightning, and everybody was wondering, why are they delaying this game? But, it's a transparent roof that lightning can come through the stadium there.
Yeah, and lightning had actually hit one of the transformers out there. And it was a really weird deal, yeah. And there was a delay of I think it ended up being 45 minutes. And so hopefully I'm not it's not like Basil with the Basil curse. I'm bringing the curse wherever I go,
Yeah, thankfully not. Well, hey, I know I'll be up there in this weekend in Fayetteville, Chris. And if you get a chance, come by my group's tailgate. We do a pretty big one there in Lot 44. There's going to be a lot of fun people there. So if you get a chance to walk on by, hit me up, man. We'll get you a cold Coke Zero.
There you go. Absolutely, guys. Just wanted to call and chat about the game. Heard you talking about it, so appreciate getting me on.
Absolutely.
Hey, appreciate it. Anytime, Chris, call us.
Yeah.
See you guys.
All right,
have a good one.
It's NFL agent Chris Turnage. So, yeah, it's good to hear from him and get his thoughts and opinions, being there in person. And also, I mean, how cool is that? The guy that he represents ends up having the walk-off touchdown. It's on national TV that everybody's watching, and for it to be a guy that maybe wasn't a household name before, but probably is now after a play like that, it's got to make Chris Turnage really proud of that.
Absolutely. And then just the backstory of talking to the Jets and knowing that he was going to be their guy. So that was it's a really cool story how it all came together.
Let's go back to the phone line and see if JoJo's still with us. Nope, no JoJo. So, yeah, we got some people, though, actually a lot. People have texting on the Southern Structural Solutions text line. Randall says, but John, have you ever been better as a Jets fan? Yeah, those 3 AFC title game seasons. Thank you, Randall. Hasn't been all terrible, although the past 12 years have been pretty terrible. But, there's been some positives. It's not like, I don't know, being a Cowboys fan where you haven't won, you won 2 playoff games in 20 years. Good job. I ain't longer than that, 25 it seems like. Let's see. Also, 501 says, have y'all seen about the Jets contacting 49ers about Brandon Allen. Surely this is fake news from Billy and
Oh, come on now.
I have not seen that, so it's fake news until I see how Adam Schefter on X. He starts talking about it. 870 says, got to give some love to the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love looked pretty good.
Love for love.
Yeah, he was good, and Packers. I guess not to say it's really about that because you obviously want him to play, but I guess now the Packers will not get that first round pick.
They get a second rounder, which is still good.
Yeah, still good. Just not getting that first round because he had to pay, was it 70% of the snaps? So obviously that's not going to be the case. Let's see. Also from Rebecca. Rebecca texted in. Can't wait to see this. Your defense is stout, but that offensive line needs work. That offensive tackle should have done a better job, so Rodgers was better protected. Wilson wasn't that bad. He was 14 of 21 for 140 yards and a touchdown interception. Just to think, Green Bay suffers because of this also. They were supposed to get a first-round draft place, as we talked about. The condition won't be met, and they'll get a conditional second-round pick in the draft next year. Well,
Rebecca, nothing but truth there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Rebecca, I think that the Packers, they'll take the second-round pick. They still won out because the Jets get nothing from Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the year. So I think that they won out in that regard. And 479 says Jets fans just got Kimbo sliced. Yeah, keep all the jokes coming in, and because it's tough. And then also 501 says, how much Aaron Rodgers get paid for 4 snaps? A lot.
$37.5 million.
A lot is what Aaron Rodgers gets paid for. And also on our live video stream, which, by the way, folks, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, or on Twitter, we are live video streaming from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall. But we did have Robert on our Facebook page says, has Aaron Rodgers played his last game?
The likeliness of that is high.
Again, I don't want to ever rule anybody out because these are athletes. You never know how they're going to bounce back. But when you're 39 years old, like Aaron Rodgers, and you have an Achilles injury like that, and you're out for the season, are you really going to come back next year and go through the rehab and maybe play for one more year? I don't know where his mindset's at. Maybe it's a thing that he's motivated to do and come back on, but I don't know. I personally, if it was up to, if I'm just guessing, and which I am leaning, I don't think he plays again, at least not for the New York Jets. That's sad.
Well, at this point, you wouldn't think that he's going to play for another team, though. So if he plays again, it will be for the Jets, but if he's not playing for the Jets, he's not playing again.
Well, you never know. I mean, he could go play for that, Johnny Manziel football internet league or something like that. I don't know. He's a weird dude, so he could do a lot of weird things. Also from the Asher Record Live fan feedback. Oh, man. You got NFL Guru here on a Trigger Tuesday says, while I feel for Aaron Rodgers, the Jets as a whole, and you, sir, John Nabors, there was a glaring missed call known as clipping during the punt return at the end of the game. It is Rule 3, Section 6. Look it up. It fits the definition of the criteria, just saying.
It was more tripping than clipping.
Yeah, it's tripping more so than clipping. So if there was a problem there, then that would have been an issue after that. But, hey, listen, they didn't call it. It was a great play, and so it worked out. But, hey, listen, if you're going to call it, you're going to call it. If they didn't, so, hey, listen, it's a good call. It's a good no call. Also, me who sees, knock, knock, who's there? Pal who? Pal goes the Jets, hopes, dreams.
Oh, boy. The jokes keep coming.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. I mean, did anybody of you really think that the Jets were going to win the Super Bowl? I didn't hear any of you clamoring.
You know what, though? With Super Bowl predictions from a lot of people, probably about 80% of the ones had the Jets in the Super Bowl from the AFC.
Gosh, well, I did it more almost as a hopeful joke, but I didn't think that it was actually going to come to fruition. And it obviously, what came to fruition just all the wrong ways of it coming to an end. But yeah, I didn't think that it was just going to be hey, if everything goes right, it would be a case. But obviously, it didn't go right for the New York Jets, and they got the Cowboys.
They still got time for it to go right. They got 16 games to make it all happen.
Yeah, bring Joe Flacco back. I mean, he is a Super Bowl winner after all. So
he is that.
You can at least hold your hat onto that. But wait, we're still going strong here, folks. So we're broadcasting live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall. Come on out and see us. We're going to have more to tell you all about it. I know Chris Shinup's going to be joining us here soon as we're right here at 7211 Dollarway Road in Whitehall. We'll be out here till 4 o'clock this afternoon, but the festivities begin at 3 o'clock, and you'll be able to check out all the great things that they have going on with their, especially getting screenings for prostate cancer, which is quick, easy, and free. So we'll have more to talk about that, as well as what's trending in the world of sports coming up next. You're on Out of Bounds, so stay with us.
David Dunn here with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. We're the area's largest and highest rated independent diesel repair facility for all makes and models, from transmissions and brakes to suspensions and engine repair. If you're tired of high dealership prices and long wait times, come see what family-owned and locally operated really means. Expert technicians and the latest computer diagnostics will get your equipment back on the road fast. Take the England exit on I-440 to Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. 568-2185. That's Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months. And River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
Your Arkansas Travelers have a new home. Hear every pitch, every crack of the bat on 106.7 Buzz 2. For the full calendar, go to Travs.com. It's the greatest game on dirt, and you can hear it at 106.7 Buzz 2.
I know the last 3 years, people have got accustomed to paying sticker price for a brand new vehicle. Well, it's not that way anymore at Red River Ram. If you're looking for a new Ram truck, we've got heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks starting at $49,500 or up to $12,000 off sticker price for a Cummins diesel. And we've got $11,000 off Ram 1500 Bighorn four-wheel drive trucks. If you want the best selection and the best buying experience, make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs. Now during Ram Power Days.
These paws were made for walking. Join us at Care for Animals Paws on the Runway, a celebration of fashion and fur. Thursday, October 5th at Rusty Cracker Vineyards from 6 to 9 p.m., we'll feature a runway show and virtual auction that will have tails wagging. Since 1998, Care has rescued more than 4,500 dogs and cats from kill shelters in Arkansas. That's a lot of unconditional love. Purchase tickets today at careforanimals.org.
Honey, I have asked you for months to clean out the attic and garage, and it is still not done.
But I don't have a trailer to haul off all this junk.
Just call Minibins. They have roll-off dumpsters that will fit right in the driveway, and they will haul it off for a low flat rate. Call them at 501-352-6464 or visit them on the web at minibins.net.
Wow, I had no idea. I'm going to give them a call right now. And you should too. Give Minibins a call today at 501-352-6464 or visit them online at minibins.net.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
AutoZone is more than a parts store. It's where we help you solve problems like, sorry I'm late, my battery died. And
I need a jump again.
At America's #1 battery destination, you can find the right battery at the right price with options starting at only $89.99. And we offer free battery testing and charging whenever you need it. Get the parts and help you need to get the job done right at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Join Wes on location this Friday, taking the zone to Rebsamen Golf Course for the 22nd Paul and Mary Lewis two-person scramble golf tournament. For more information or to register your team, go to RebsamenGolf.com.
There's only one place to stop for the best in meats in Central Arkansas. It's Hogs Meat Market. Check out their monthly package deals of the best meats online at hogsmeatmarket.com. Hogs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
We do things around here my way. You understand that? You show me the kind of smarts. Makes me wonder if you know the difference between a sneeze and a wet fart. You're going to be second string all your life, boy.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
I've had a long large mouth pass bus, smile and a couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off, politicians lie, been fired by the boss. It takes one hand to count the things I can count on. No, there ain't much.
If you're shopping for a vehicle, you want to get to Guadney Chevrolet. Guadney has best deals in the market, been doing it 60-plus years. Give them a call, 501-982-2102. Make a trip to the lot off the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. Shop them online, GuadneyChevrolet.com. You can see all the deals, the cash allowances, even appraise a vehicle, see just how much it's worth. They're giving thousands over book value, whether you trade that vehicle in or you sell it to Guadney Chevrolet. Guadney is always actively buying vehicles, so you'll get a great deal on the vehicle that you trade in or sell. See the entire inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles on GuadneyChevrolet.com and get a deal started on GuadneyChevrolet.com before making a trip to the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. And schedule that service today. They have convenient service hours throughout the week. Also, Saturday, 7 a.m. until noon, in case you can't make it throughout the week. It's Guadney Chevrolet, Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer. Guadney Chevrolet, GuadneyChevrolet.com.
Turn my mic on. It's Out of Bounds live from the Arkansas Urology location here in Whitehall. Really appreciate them having us. But we just saw Scott Davis walk by, so he's here in town, and I know we'll have Chris Shinham. He'll be joining us here in just a little bit. But come on out and see us, 7211 Dollar Way Road right here in Whitehall. The rain has held off, and it's really nice outside. Nice little cool breeze right under here in the awning, too. And I've already seen a few people walk in, so be sure to come on out and see us as they're getting ready for their awesome event of the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health, which we've been a part of for a few years now. And they moved it up. So it's starting at 3 o'clock today. So from 3 to 5 today is when you can come out and check it out and have a chance to win a big screen television, 65-inch. I think it's 4K too. So, if you have one of those fancy cables, which we talked about, the different cable providers and streaming and all that, some of them are doing 4K now for some of these football games, which is awesome. So
the prostate screening also is quick and easy. So it doesn't take a lot of time. You come by and they'll get you in and out of here.
Oh, yeah. They make it quick, fast, and simple, and something that's very important and something you definitely need to get checked. So come on out and see us. But there's a lot of other things going on in the world of sports. So let's talk about what's trending.
What's trending in the world of sports is sponsored by Arkansas-based West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee and their 1.5 million coffee farmers around the globe as they fuel Arkansas with great tasting coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
All right, what's trending in the world of sports? A few things going on. Yesterday, actually, after we got done with the show, for Chiefs fans, defensive tackle Chris Jones ended his holdout on Monday by agreeing to terms with a 1-year new contract with the Chiefs. He did not receive a clause preventing a franchise tag, so he could be subject to that tender from the Chiefs next offseason.
Come on,
but
now take care of that guy.
I don't know why it's a problem. Incentives in the new contract would allow him to earn more than $19.5 million that he was scheduled to make this season under his old contract. This is all according to ESPN. And those incentives include $1 million for 35% playing time, $1 million for 50% playing time, in addition to that $1 million for 35%, or $1.25 million for 10 sacks, $500,000 for 15 sacks, and $1 million for if he's selected as an All-Pro and the Chiefs play in the Super Bowl, and then $2 million if he wins Defensive Player of the Year and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So lots of incentives based for him, but yeah, what's the problem here? Like, why are they? What's the issue? Is he asking for too much money, or the Chiefs trying to play hardball? Like, why are they just not paying this man who's obviously really good and very important to this team?
Yeah, at the last minute, and especially because they already have a game behind them, this does make a lot of sense on both sides. But, I mean, if they had more time to work with, of course, they would try to get it worked out. But this is something you need to have worked out before the season and not wait to the last minute to try to make it all happen. And now this is where they are. But, for the most part, the Chiefs are going to be happy to have him in and have him playing. And then Chris Jones is happy enough to the point where he does decide to come in and play.
Now, also in some Steelers news, Joe, I saw that wide receiver Deontay Johnson is expected to be sidelined a few weeks because of the hamstring injury that he suffered against the 49ers. And they said that he's probably unavailable for the Monday night game against the Cleveland Browns.
So that was something that complicated it even more, where you're already just getting beat, and then there were injuries that piled up on top of it. Cam Hayward, defensive tackle, he's another that's going to be out for a few weeks. So, yeah, they have some issues along with the game itself and how it played out.
Also, again, so a lot of NFL news that's been going on dealing with injuries and whatnot, but a really sad deal as a former NFL wide receiver Mike Williams, at the age of 36, has officially passed away at St. Joseph's Hospital there in Tampa, Florida. He was hospitalized for after an accident at a construction site there in Hillsborough County, which includes Tampa, and it left him partially paralyzed. And apparently that he was taken off the ventilator this past week, and he has officially passed away. So just a sad deal
That
all
is sad.
around. And
because it looked like at first he was going to be able to recover a bit because they were communicating with him. And although he wasn't able to fully communicate, he could respond to certain things that they were saying to him. So, yeah, really sad deal.
Yeah, sad deal all around. Also, in some other news, too, we know with the NBA and some of the stuff that's going on there. But apparently, according to Shams, Damian Lillard has said that he will not show up to training camp if he's traded to anywhere other than the Miami Heat.
The NBA is going to take issue with that, though, because they had already made a statement saying that players, and they were specifically talking about Dame Lillard, you can't demand to go only one place or a couple of places and expect them to take action like that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it almost seems like they say all these things, but then they still try to do it. You know, it's like,
yeah, they accommodate players for the most part. They try to, but they've been cracking down on some things here lately.
Well, they've been needing to now for a while. But also in some other news too, we know with college football still going on this weekend. We mentioned with Razorbacks that Rocket Sanders will be out. He will not be playing against BYU this weekend. Dwight McGlothern looks like he's going to be back in business and dealing with that turf toe, but that's really important for them. But also on the college football side of things for Ohio State, Kyle McCord has now been named starting quarterback for the remainder of the season after being non-committal for the past few weeks. About a full-time starter. It was between him and Devin Brown and whether or not one would take a leap over the other, but they decided that they're going to go with Kyle McCord at Ohio State, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, when was the last time Ohio State had a quarterback battle?
Yeah, it's been a while. They usually always have the next in line, next in succession.
Yeah, and they usually handle it pretty well. But, hey, listen, as long as you get it done here, I guess it works out, and there's no problems with it, too. Also in some other news when it comes to, the game from last night, this is not necessarily surprising, but apparently the Jets Super Bowl odds are in a free fall, according to the betting. And nobody is, not only that, but fantasy football has been tremendous, which, again, doesn't matter for the injury of Aaron Rodgers, but for the amount of money that people do with fantasy football and for the amount of money, of course, that's in sports betting, as we know with Bet Saracen, as which we use here on Out of Bounds. That's pretty dramatic and pretty crazy. And who knows, maybe if they pull off the unthinkable, you can get in on the great odds right now for the Jets. And, maybe Zach Wilson can lead them to the promised land.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It'd be a good time to get in for sure.
Yeah. I'm still going to try to be super optimistic and hopeful, but it's just me crying and dying inside right now. So
it is going to be plus money, and it's going to be plus money compared to where it was.
Yeah, you could probably retire for the amount of odds it's going to be for the Jets, but. We'll have some more headlines to talk about, but again, folks, we're broadcasting live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall. Come on out and see us. We'll have more to talk about that, as well as Joshua Braun, Razorback offensive lineman, joining us. Thanks to Matt Black, Allstate Insurance. All that and a lot more coming up next.
Game day starts with the Mud Connection Hog Wild pregame show with Trey Shapp and David Basil. Brought to you in part by Bud Light and the Holiday Inn Express and Suites off Weddington and Fayetteville.
Razorback fans, this Saturday night, it's BYU versus Arkansas at 6:30 p.m. Plenty of TVs at Brewski's and the legendary Brewski-tron with full game sound. Enjoy drink specials and the best game day food in the city at Brewski's. Stick around after the game for Saturday night karaoke in the bar at 9 p.m. and Dude Called Rob in the basement playing a live open format DJ set till 2 a.m. For more info on VIP sections, brewskispubandgrub.com. This Saturday night, it's BYU versus Arkansas at 6:30 p.m.
Trey Shapp and Chris Shinup with you. Chris, we had a great kickoff to Men's Health at the Little Rock location. It's now time to head to Jefferson County.
Yeah, Trey, we're excited to be heading to Jefferson County, specifically Whitehall, on Tuesday, September 12th.
Men aged 40 and over, it's time for them to get screened, is it not?
That's right. And like our CEO, Scott Davis, says, you come in for a free screen and you might win a 65-inch flat screen TV.
Get it done, guys. Call 501-263-0926 for more information. Jefferson County, the Kickoff to Men's Health event is coming your way.
We are just a bunch of guys having fun. Just one has exceptional hair.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. 103.7 The Buzz, KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Brian Houston.
There was a scare for high school students at a North Little Rock charter school. They were evacuated from their building and sent home because there was a fear that someone had fired a gun inside a bathroom. North Little Rock police responded to the scene. At last check, no one was arrested. We do know no one was injured. Officers searched and cleared the school, and students were sent home. Students at Mills High School had a scare of their own in the form of a bomb threat. According to the Pulaski County Special School District, the threat was called into the school, and they immediately evacuated. Sheriff deputies then searched the campus. Once they gave the all clear, and students and staff were able to return to class. For more news and weather, download the free KETV News and weather apps from the Channel 7 Newsroom. I'm Ryan Houston.
Join Kevin McPherson, Arkansas' premier basketball recruiting analyst, each Friday on Drive Time Sports. Brought to you by Fence Brokers. Fence Brokers, going the extra mile.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Another frontal boundary bringing us another round of scattered showers, especially early today. Those will decrease in the afternoon. A little cooler, too. Just a high around 80 degrees. Tonight's low 64, low 80s for the rest of the work week. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Tune in every Friday morning to hear Danny West from hogsports.com on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by HJ Trailer Sales. They've got truck beds and utility trailers for every type of job and a service facility for maintenance and repair. Local folks with great products. Visit them online at hjtrailersales.com or in person at 808 Albert Pike in Hot Springs.
What's good, y'all? Clint Sterner here for Low T Center. Fellas, when it comes to your health, every man should know his testosterone number. What's that mean? It's simple. You need to schedule an appointment at Low T Center immediately. It's quick. It's easy. Hell, it's only $25. Walk in, take a simple blood test, get the results in about 25 minutes. So if you've been feeling tired and grumpy, sensing a lack of motivation and drive, dealing with high cholesterol, noticing stubborn weight gain and or loss of muscle mass, it's on you, fellas. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Allow us to introduce ourselves. We are Big O Tires. However, we might as well go by Big O Tires, alignments, batteries, brakes, oil changes, suspensions, and free visual inspection upon arrival, because we do all that and more. But that name seems a little long and it won't fit on our sign. Now at Big O Tires in Conway and Cabot, take $100 off select sets of tires. That's right, save $100 right now off select sets of tires and get tires, service, and straight talk at Big O Tires.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
For a free insurance review, see Shelter agent Jeff Hodge or Jay Hellman, Little Rock, or Bo Beavis in Cabot.
Greenway is your local source for John Deere equipment and implements. Now, we've made finding the perfect piece of equipment even easier. Shop our tractor packages online at gogreenway.com. Till deeper with our down-to-earth package. Or save big with our Green Saver package. Need something with a little more muscle? Kick it up a notch with Greenway's Get In Gear package. We're here to support the DIYer in you. No matter what project comes your way, Greenway has you covered.
And ESPN Radio Extra Points with Freddie Coleman.
I know what Shannon Sharp was trying to say. I get it that he was of that moment because with Tyreek Hill, what he can do, the fact that he can go from 0 to 100, it's unbelievable in a short amount of time and a short amount of space. But I'm going to be the one to throw the rock into that whole thing. They need a guy to not have a rock head when it comes to Tua Tagovailoa. But for Tyreek Hill to be as scary or the scariest person in the league, according to Shannon Sharp,
you better touch the ball at every play, in my opinion.
Well, either that or you better make sure your quarterback is around at the end of the year to get you the football because you can't be scared the ball's not coming your way. And we saw what Patrick Mahomes was able to do with Tyreek Hill and without Tyreek Hill. We saw Tyreek Hill, what he's been able to make Tua Tagovailoa. Not saying Tua Tagovailoa is a bad quarterback, but he's made him better because of that ability. But you can only do so much because Tua Tagovailoa was injured. All of a sudden, the ball wasn't coming his way.
It was the ideal marriage. Little did I know I was married to a man who had done something so horrible that it would devastate our lives forever.
Teacher of the Year is now charged with sex crimes.
Now streaming on Hulu.
He was living a double life.
The shocking story behind a #1 true crime podcast, Betrayal.
Prostitutes, escorts. He even cheated on me the week of our wedding.
Betrayal, the perfect husband.
He had a lot of fantasies.
Now streaming only on Hulu.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things. The one-of-a-kind wood-fired flavor of a Traeger Ironwood XL grill. And football. That's right, Desmond Howard. Get fired up for the game in just a tap with Traeger's intuitive touchscreen. Then throw on your favorites and monitor the grill from anywhere with Wi-Fi technology. So you spend less time staring at the grill, which means more time for football. For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Live from the Hogs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds.
And getting away, a line drive kick is Sam Martin. Gibson runs under it at the Jet 35. Starts to his left, gets to the 40, turns the corner at the 45, 50. Blockers in front, at the 40, at the Bills 30, inside the 20. Stutter steps to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! And it's a Jet touchdown! This game is over!
Yeah.
With John Nabors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Joe Franklin.
We won't go in the shell. We won't go in attack mode because that's what's required.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, broadcasting live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall, as we are excited to be here as part of the 19th annual Kickoff the Men's Health event. Got Todd Pierce back in the Hogs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you as always for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. It's been a fun-filled show, a lot of NFL talk, a lot of Aaron Rodgers talk too. But we know with Razorback football coming up this weekend, the big game against BYU, which I know we'll talk about and hear from Sam Pittman in your Razor Hog update as the show goes on. We have a very special guest, just like each and every week, as we get the chance to catch up with Razorback offensive lineman Joshua Braun, who is sponsored by Allstate with Matt Black Insurance. And again, it's always good to catch up with him. And we had a chance to catch up with him last night. So let's go ahead and hear what Josh Braun has to say about BYU this weekend.
Offensive lineman Josh Braun is brought to you by Matt Black with Allstate Insurance. Matt Black with Allstate can take care of your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, renters, and landlord insurance. Are you in good hands?
All right, we are very honored to be welcomed by our offensive lineman, sponsored, of course, by Matt Black's Allstate Insurance for the Razorbacks, Joshua Braun once again. And Joshua, appreciate you joining us as always, man. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back. Thank you so much for having me. But I'm doing good. Just ready to have another week.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we'll just start with the past weekend game against Kent State. Got the victory, 28-6. And I know some people may have been expecting a bigger blowout, but still winning is the only thing that matters. Starting with that game itself, just what do you think of you as an individual, your overall play in that game, and also the offensive line in general? Maybe some things you guys did well and maybe some things you guys need to work on and improve.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, always good to get the victory, but obviously we wanted a cleaner game. Just for me personally, I made a couple big mistakes in 2 or 3 plays that definitely can't happen again. And I'm taking the necessary steps to ensure that they don't happen again. And then just as an offensive line as a whole, definitely keep emphasizing the physicality and the strain and finishing the second level blocks and making sure we're around the football whenever the ball carrier is tackled, helping them up. So hopefully that's something the fans see as the weeks move forward. It's definitely something we're harping on in practice that we need to improve upon.
So looking at it from like game 1 to game 2, they always talk about that's a time where a lot of improvement can be made and everything. How did you feel about the jump from game 1 to game 2? And also, was the game plan a pretty vast difference between the game against Western Carolina, game at Kent State, considering just for the offensive line perspective? Was it a pretty different approach to the game itself?
I would say yes. Just because Kent State ran a different defense. They ran a lot of field under as opposed to field under G. And in this day and age, at least I haven't seen a lot of field under. Most of the teams I've played against have played a G, which is a 2-eye, which the nose tackle lines up over the guard instead of the center. And just so that little wrinkle was something new that I don't have a lot of experience going against. So it was good to get reps against that defensive front for when we see it from other teams down the line. But from a game plan perspective, the offense, we've installed all the offense, so we're able to run whatever plays we want. So that's a Coach Enos thing. Whatever he tells us to run, we run.
Well, I've always been curious about that because, from fans' perspectives, when they see games in the early part of the season, maybe against some non-conference foes, they kind of chalk it up to saying, oh, well, they're being vanilla by design. They don't want to show too much of the offense and everything. Is that something there's some truth to that where there's a lot of part of the offense that has not been unveiled or been released in these first couple of games? Or is it more just you guys go in with a game plan no matter what, and it either works or it doesn't work, and you just adjust as the game goes on?
I wouldn't say it's vanilla. Me personally, I haven't thought of that, but I don't necessarily pay attention to that. I'm more focused on what plays we are going to run and what my responsibilities are in those plays. And the defense does, or what we're expecting the defense to do during those plays. So I have to run through a list of that before each play. Really consider our offensive playbook as a whole when going into a game. So definitely, I'm not an offensive coordinator mind.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Neither am I. So, but I look at it too in this game against Kent State that, there were some struggles, but it seemed like later in the game, especially there in the fourth quarter, you guys were able to establish a little bit more and start getting the running game going a little bit more and control the clock and have a lot more possession. Did you feel like as the game went on, everything kind of settled in and it got to be a little bit better for not just the offensive line, but just for the offense in general later in the game itself?
I would say so. We had a couple miscues early that resulted in shorter drives than we would have wanted. And now with the new clock rules, which we didn't really feel last week, considering we were scoring so much and we had a sizable lead that we wanted to hold on to. But this week, when you don't take advantage of the opportunities that you're given, the clock rules do come into effect. And before you know it, you look up and it's almost the second quarter. And so now you have doubt starting in your mind. You're like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And so being in that position was very beneficial for us, playing a team like Kent State to have to deal with that adversity so that further on in the season, when things necessarily aren't going how we thought they were going to go, we're able to put that aside and just focus on the task at hand and push through that, which I think the fans saw as the game started going, and we started not thinking so much of we have to score right now and started more so being we have to play this play and we have to execute this play, and then next play we have to execute that play. And so I think as the game went on, you saw more of that, and we stopped worrying so much about scoring.
Well, one of the great plays that was made in this game was actually by KJ Jefferson. You guys were on the goal line, and it was a fumbled snap, and he just kind of picks it up and runs around and is able to throw it. I've always felt like KJ is a great quarterback, but it seems like his improvisation is always really impressive whenever he's got to make a play. Is that something that you see every day? And just what did you make of that particular play and him being able to, even though it looks like a broken play, still find the end zone and still find a way to score the touchdown?
Yeah, I think you see that every week with KJ. I remember last week you were talking about the hit that he didn't get tackled on, and he rolled out and made another great play. And so it's just consistently he has the improvisational skills to make a play out of nothing, and just to be secure in your quarterback's ability to do that definitely eases the nerves of everyone on the offense.
Yeah, what's it like in those situations? And if you're in pass protection or whatnot, like as an offensive lineman, when do you know of like, okay, I got to go start run blocking because he's taking off? Like, is it something to where you're just playing the guessing game, or maybe do you have a feel for the situation? Because he's definitely a player that can make it play with both his arm and his legs. But as a lineman who's trying to block for him, how do you know when to start moving forward and run blocking, or when to stay and keep protecting him inside the pocket?
This early in the season, it's definitely hard to tell just because you can't recreate that scenario in practice. In practice, the quarterbacks are they wear black jerseys, they're non-contact, so they're really emphasizing their abilities to throw. We all know KJ can run, so in practice he works his arm. And so in a game, just the more reps you have of him scrambling and him running for yards, you get a better feel for it. So I think as the season progresses, week 5, 6, hopefully sooner, we'll get a better feel for how he rolls out and how he scrambles in the late count protections.
Speaking with Joshua Braun here on Out of Bounds, thanks to Matt Black, Allstate Insurance. And I know that this week, of course, it's going to be another home game in Fayetteville, night game against BYU, a Big 12 team, which is kind of weird for me to call them a Big 12 team. Still got to get used to it. But, yeah, they are indeed a Big 12 team. So Arkansas beat them last year over in Provo. You, of course, weren't on the team, but you are now. Just what do you make of BYU and some of the things that the defensive front that you've seen that maybe things that you guys are going to have to watch for and have to focus on to get out of there with a win?
As I said before, the last 2 weeks we're playing a field under team in Western Carolina and Kent State. BYU's defensive fronts are all over the place. They play under, they play over, they play odd. And so we definitely have to hone into our responsibilities and be gap sound throughout the run game and communicate efficiently and effectively in pass protection. And just this week's going to test our knowledge of the offense, because they're going to do a lot of movement and line up in different fronts. And so we're going to have to know our responsibilities in and out.
So as far as when you go up against a team like BYU, is it something to where like going into this week and prepping is something specifically that you guys are going to focus on? I know you mentioned a few of those things, but just something that, you want to make sure that not only you work on, but the offensive line works on for when they send those different fronts and give those different looks to make sure that everyone's communicating and on the same page. Like, what are some things that you're going to work on and focus on the most this week?
Just in practice, just talking. I mean, it seems so simple, but when you're in the firefight, when you're in there, you have to remember that you're one of 5 people working together. And so if you put the blinders on and just focus on your job, you're going to miss that the safeties walked down or the linebackers moved out of the box, that the tackle now has a different responsibility because of the look that he's getting. So you all have to be tuned together into those different variations. And so just throughout practice this week, we're really focusing on communicating the fronts, communicating where the linebackers are, who our spots are, where the ID is, and just what blocking combinations we have in the plays that we're running.
I know that you had to move around a little bit, and getting Brady Latham back was big. But how important was it to have him back into the lineup and be able to move back to your position to where you're at the other guard spot? Just having him back on the field, a guy who's experienced in not only at Arkansas but in the SEC in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to have Brady back. Like I've said before, he's a captain on the team. He's a captain of the offensive line. Just having his steady hand there to guide us through a game is very beneficial. And not just in the game, but in practice too, having him drive the bus, just having him pushing us to be better every play, every period is a benefit to us. But I'm sorry, what was the second part of your question?
Yeah, just having him back there and then, kind of just knowing like when your core group is there. I know you guys are still rotating and trying to figure some things out, but just trying to settle in and having some experienced linemen like him back and how that impacts and helps the offensive line.
Yeah, so having players like Brady and Bo who have experience allows us to rotate and get guys some playing time, some looks, and just elevate the experience across the board of the offensive line so that we have 8 players, 9 players who in crunch time, if we need them to go into the game, they can go in and perform well. Having them there with their experience, they can calm everybody's fears and just help us move in the direction that we want to go. Bo is able to ID things correctly, get everyone onto their spots, make sure everyone's in the right combinations. And Brady's also doing the same thing on the left side whenever they rotate the tackles. And so having him is definitely beneficial.
Yeah, I've been curious too, because it seems like, kind of rotating offensive linemen, you see it with defensive linemen a lot and trying to rotate, get guys in and out. And what's that been like? Is that something that is pretty common that you've been a part of before, or is that kind of just trying to figure out which offensive line? Because again, I be honest, I don't pay attention to all like, who's on there at every play at every single time. But it's like
no worries. We don't expect you to.
Yeah, it's like when I hear Sam Pittman talk about rotating offensive linemen, does that impact the continuity of the group that you're with, or is it, hey, you just got your job to do and you got to count on the other guys to do their job too?
I think it could be a problem if we weren't the offensive line that we are. I've been a part of offensive lines that have rotated in the past where it has been an issue and we've had to deal with the issues. But in this offensive line, we all know that we all care about each other. Our goal as an offensive line is to win the game, no matter how we do it, no matter who's on the field. And so if we have 6, 7, 8 guys who can play, we all understand that 6, 7, 8 guys will play. And just because you're out one series doesn't mean that you're not playing well enough. It could, but it doesn't necessarily. That gives you an ability to take a break, recuperate, because nothing's more annoying than being play 8 in a drive and see the D-line rotate. And you're like, well, you couldn't stay in for the whole drive. Like, come on, that's just, you're being lazy. And so to give us the ability to do that drive to drive is just definitely beneficial.
What's it been like not having Rocket in the lineup this past game? And I know Sam Pittman said today in the press conference that he's not going to be available this weekend either against BYU. Just you got some great running backs back there, but what's it been like, and maybe some differences of not having Rocket Sanders back in the backfield?
Similar to Brady, I mean, Rocket's the captain of our team. He's an ever-present, just it's hard to explain. So Rocket is the first player, first teammate of mine who I've ever had arrive to the facility before me. And that impressed me when I first got here, because I'd pull into my parking spot, get out, and Rocket would already be on his way into the facility. And so me personally, I feel for Rocket. I know he wants to have a career year. I want him to have a career year. To be set back by injuries hurts my heart for him. But I know that he's going to rehab correctly. He's going to do his part as best as he can to get back on the field. And we as an offensive line are confident in our running backs. No matter who's back there, we're going to do our best to open up the holes for them, and they're going to do their best to hit the holes. And it's unfortunate that Rocket's not back there right now, and we can't wait to have him back. That's all I have to say on that.
Yeah, well, I know Razorback fans are looking forward to when he actually can be back on the field too. The player, though, that has been making some plays on the field that I think Razorback fans are getting a little bit of idea of is Isaac Teslaw. I mean, it seems like if you throw the ball anywhere in his vicinity, he's coming up with a catch. So he had 2 incredible catches against Kent State, and he's just been bringing it. We've heard about it. We've heard about it in practice, but seeing him make those plays and everything, just what do you make of his game and his as an overall wide receiver, where comes from a small school up north, and here he is in the SEC already making plays.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely impressive. It was definitely – oh, my gosh. Sorry, I'm a little tired.
You're all
good. It was
good.
definitely impressive, but I wasn't shocked. These are plays that he makes every day in practice. To see him make these plays in the game, just for him to reap the benefits of the work that he's put in, definitely just makes me happy for him. But he's a wide receiver that I know will catch the ball whenever it's thrown to him, and I look forward to seeing him make plays next week, this week, and all the rest of the weeks in the season.
Yeah, and before we let you go, of course, we always appreciate you hopping on. I don't remember if I asked you this last week, but do you I know it's tough to watch college football games because you're usually playing on Saturday when college football is going on. Do you watch any NFL, like week 1? Do you have a team in the NFL that you root for or anything like that?
I keep up with some of my former teammates. So tonight I'll watch the Bills-Jets game, or I guess it's on right now. But I have friends on the Bills. I play behind the right guard, Cyrus Torrance. Justin Shorter is a friend of mine. And then I played 2 years with Kyer Elam, the cornerback. And so I'll watch this game tonight. And then Evan McPherson for the Bengals, Zach Carter, just guys across the league who I've played with. I'll watch them, keep in touch with how their games are going and how their seasons are going.
Yeah, I got a chance to get to see Anthony Richardson too, him being the starter there and Colts. I'm sure it's kind of it'd be weird for me if it's like, I'm still in college, still going through, and I see guys I played with in the NFL on the big stage. It's probably a pretty wild scene for you.
Yeah, no, it's I'm just happy for them. They're living out their dream, and I got to be a person in their journey as they accomplish their goals. And it warms my heart to see them have success in the field.
Well, Josh, as always, man, we appreciate you joining us and always appreciate you coming on each and every week. Thanks to Matt Black, Allstate Insurance. Good luck this weekend against BYU, and look forward to catching up with you next week when Arkansas is 3-0, and we can have some fun with it then.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
Again, that was Josh Braun joining us. Thanks to Matt Black, Allstate Insurance. You'll be able to hear him every single Tuesday right here on Out of Bounds as we broadcast live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall. And we got Chris Shinup with us live on location. What's up, Chris?
Hey, what's up? It's normally it's Fridays when I get to catch up with y'all, but today is a Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you having us out here, especially for which is always a great event of the Kickoff to Men's Health and 19th annual deal. So it's great to be a part of it once again.
I guess this is what y'all's third year to be down here, so it's kind of become a tradition unlike any other.
Getting started a little bit earlier today too at 3:00.
That's right,
so that's going to be exciting.
We realized last year during y'all's show we had so many people that were starting to show up. We might as well take advantage of this time slot and go ahead and if anybody wants to come now, they probably couldn't see you now, but at least set your clock for 3:00 and we'll be here from 3 until 6.
Well, it's not much time left. It's 2:25 now, so it is about time to start showing up.
Yeah. Well, also it's cool being at a different location here, which is a really nice setup that you guys have.
Yeah, I think one of y'all were saying it's a lot easier to get here just as far as coming from Little Rock and I know some of the smaller towns surrounding this area that our patients come to see our doctors at. But this is a nice space. Whitehall is a growing community, and I know that there are a lot of proud people down here who at one time lived in Pine Bluff who've kind of commuted over to Whitehall, and so we're excited to be a part of this community now.
And guys that stop by today, they're going to have a chance to win a 65-inch TV.
How about that, Joe?
For getting a screen?
65-inch TV, yeah. As our CEO Scott Davis says, you come in for a free screen, you might win a flat screen TV. So, not only are you potentially going to win something that you could watch the Hogs on this weekend, and John, sorry, probably not Aaron Rodgers for the rest of this season.
Yeah, probably not. I'll see him on the sidelines. Maybe.
That's right. Yeah.
He's not going to be there either.
You're
He'll
also
be in the box somewhere.
Yeah, but you're also getting the gift of health and just that reassurance that everything's good, and if it's not, we'll take a look at what's going on, and our top-notch doctors and nurses will make sure that they get you back on the road to recovery. So.
Yeah, we've had a few people that have actually asked some questions about that, but I do hear the music. So we'll take a break and we'll talk more about that. And I believe we're going to be joined by Dr. Goodson here very soon. Yeah. So looking forward to catching up with him and also just getting through all the different things that's going on here at Arkansas Urology right here in Whitehall. Folks, come on out and see us. We're going to be out here till 4 o'clock this afternoon, but the festivities start at 3 o'clock at 7211 Dollar Way Road right here in Whitehall as part of the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health event. We'll get to that and a lot more coming up next here on Out of Bounds, so stay with us.
It's the Average Guy Movie Review, Thursdays in the Zone, with me, Justin Acree, and Wes Moore, presented by Rock and Roll Sushi. Our friends from Rock and Roll Sushi will come in and recap or look ahead to what's trending on TV, the big screen, Netflix, or wherever you get your entertainment. It's presented by Rock and Roll Sushi, deliciously twisted flavors and a rock and roll vibe that will blow your mind. rockandrollsushi.com.
This is Sports Center.
News broke this morning that Aaron Rodgers will miss the remainder of the 2023 NFL season as he suffered a torn Achilles on the 4th play of his Jets career. The New York Jets now have just Zach Wilson at quarterback on the active roster. Tim Boyle is on the practice squad and is the only other quarterback under roster. And in basketball news, LeBron James is ready to commit to USA Basketball for the 2024 Paris Olympics. James has spoken to Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, and Draymond Green, who are all ready to commit also. Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, and Kyrie Irving are all said to have interest as well. James has not played for Team USA since 2012 in London. The Paris Olympics are being viewed as the last dance for this era of USA Basketball. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Fellas, Clint Sterner here. Let me get your attention real quick, man. If you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. What's that mean? If you want to get back to feeling your best, you need to schedule your health assessment at Low T Center ASAP. It's quick, it's easy, and now it's convenient. Low T Center offers monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month, cash pay, or covered by most health insurance. If you don't live near a Low T Center or you just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center got you. They'll ship your treatments directly to your home. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked 2 miles off 530 exit 34 in Whitehall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rumors are true. Your favorite sports bar is coming to North Little Rock. Brewski's is proud to announce a second location is coming to the Lakewood Shopping Center, and it won't be too long where you can get the same great pub grub, happy hour specials, and late night fun when it comes to North Little Rock. Voted the #1 sports bar in Little Rock for the last 4 years to catch all the games all year long. Get ready, North Little Rock. Brewski's North is coming soon. Brewski's, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
If you haven't stopped by Arch Marine lately, you are literally missing the boat. And no boat is complete without a Tohatsu motor. Arch Marine in North Little Rock has them ranging from 3.5 to 140 horsepower. That's Arch Marine in North Little Rock. Take the Levy exit.
We're back with Wild Bill at Motorsports Authority. Great selection here on the lot, but what about my trade-in, Wild Bill?
We'll trade for just about anything as long as you don't have to feed it. We'll put top dollar in that trade. I'm getting country fried crazy during this sale right now, and I'll tell you what, folks, it's a lot of fun to do business with us. So if you're wanting top dollar for your trade, you need to come see us.
You can check out the complete selection online at msastore.com. Better yet, come see us in Russellville on East Main and Hot Springs on Central. You better get down here to Motorsports Authority.
Touchdown!
It's Justin Aker reminding you the Certa Pro Painters is here to help you as we transition from summer into fall. And if you're thinking about doing something to the outside of your home, maybe it's long overdue, Certa Pro Painters is here to help. Have them come over, give you an estimate, and they can help walk you through the process of what it'll take to get it done. They can help you out with the color selection and everything else you need to get the job done right. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home, for your business, get your place looking right with the help of my friends at Certa Pro Painters.
Cobra Commander, I figured out when to attack G.I. Joe.
What's your new idea, Destro?
We attack Saturday at 9 a.m. They'll all be listening to Guatney Unplugged at 103.7 The Buzz.
Excellent.
Make it the event that everyone wants to attend by getting your meat for tailgates, parties, or just family get-togethers at Hogs Meat Market. Hogs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Oh, man. Talk radio?
Yes, talk radio.
So boring, man.
Okay.
The car just committed suicide.
Shut up, man.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. Bet Saracen is as close as your cell phone. Just go to the App Store and download the Bet Saracen app or go to betsaracen.com. College football, NFL, boxing, MMA, you got the combat sports, Major League Baseball, any kind of wagering you want, it's all available on the Bet Saracen app. There's in-game betting. There are specials, props, double R props. Be on the lookout for those always. The line is set for Arkansas and BYU on Bet Saracen. Arkansas is an 8.5-point favorite. The over-under is 47.5. And all the college football lines are posted, NFL lines. It's all there on the Bet Saracen app. For the most accurate and up-to-date sports wagering info, you need to be on the Bet Saracen app. It's simple. Just go to the App Store and download the Bet Saracen app or go to betsaracen.com. Be sure to check out the video of how to play featuring Jancy Sheets.
It's Out of Bounds, broadcasting live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall. Appreciate everybody listening in as part of the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health event. As we're having a good time. Of course, Chris Shin have joined us, and he will be joining us throughout the rest of the show, too. And I know we'll still have a Razor Hog update that we'll dive into later and get into some other headlines too. But it's good to talk and hear from Josh Braun as well in the previous segment, getting ready for Razorback football. And we were just talking about that with Chris during the commercial break of, kind of the expectation and having a night game. I think there's going to be an incredible crowd there for the game against BYU. Very loud crowd there and very energized. There always is when it's a 6 o'clock game against a good opponent, especially when the team's still undefeated. So there's no excuse not to get up for this game and not to come out extremely motivated and energized, because that's just not going to be an excuse at this point. But it should be a great atmosphere in Fayetteville.
Yeah, they're stepping up the competition. So that's it's getting to the part of the schedule that everybody's looking forward to. And then right around the corner is conference play, but you have to take that next step in non-conference against BYU, and then you can get on the conference play. But it's one game at a time, and BYU will be a good test.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're a Big 12 team that is going to come in extremely motivated to try to get the victory after they lost at home to Arkansas last year in Provo, which was a great game. But also just to see if they can get this rushing attack going. And, Chris, we were talking about, Arkansas's 2-0, but we was listening to some of the texts and some of the calls that we had just from the yesterday even. Just people are not happy. They're not happy with the way that rushing attack looked. They're not happy with how the offense looked in general. And some of them are already jumping off the ledge saying, this team's a 6-6 team right now, even though they're 2-0.
I think this week will show us a lot. Well, if it doesn't show us a lot, hopefully we'll be hiding some stuff for LSU. But I think hopefully we'll have a lot of improvements from last week to this week.
So do you buy into that, Chris? Because that's the other side where a lot of people are saying, yeah, Arkansas, they're playing vanilla. They're not showing anything. They don't want to give anything away to this point because of the competition. Do you buy that?
Not really.
Vanilla by design. I love that term.
I mean, I think we're having to adjust to a new coordinator again, and we have a young line, and obviously we've had some shuffling going around there. So with Rocket being out, I think it was just a bad luck of the draw. Hopefully,
that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, because you were at the game last week,
yeah.
So it was. And I'm sure there in person it's kind of like this ain't as fun as what people
it was a very quiet first half.
Yeah, I mean, when you're having to have 3 and outs, and luckily the defense stepped up and they made some plays, had to pick 6 and everything. But that's I think where maybe some hope is coming in, where the thing that you struggled with so badly last year, defense, especially in the passing game, has looked much improved. It's not perfect, but it's much improved.
Absolutely. I mean,
and it's like, all right, well, and that's I think it was what makes it so weird is that the one thing that I think everybody would say, hey, if Arkansas is going to be good at one thing this year, what's it going to be? And I was like, running the ball with Rocket.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think it's so surprising to people, where it's like the one thing that you felt like was going to be great this year isn't, and then the thing that you struggled with so much last year seems to be, I wouldn't say a strength just yet, but very much improved.
Yeah, I mean, just that goal line stand, by our defense. We never saw that last season.
Not at all.
Despite who the opponent was.
There wasn't even goal line stands because they already scored from 50 yards out.
Yeah.
People are looking for something positive to point to at this point. And so that's where you hear the talk about the defense. It's kind of a wait and see mode, though, because you do have to factor in the competition.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can gauge it more this weekend against BYU.
But I'm hoping the SEC looking a little just kind of
suspect.
Down. Yeah. I'm hoping that continues, and then that's in our favor. But I know that's to be determined as well.
Yeah, because there's still a lot of season left, especially with the schedule that has Arkansas coming up. And that's why this BYU game is also so important, because if you don't win this game, you got to go on the road at LSU in Death Valley at 6 o'clock. No big deal. And then you have Texas A&M, who hasn't looked great, that big loss to Miami, but they're still going to be a formidable opponent. And we know that game's dumb every year, and Arkansas finds a way to lose it in new fashions. And so then you have Ole Miss on the road, who's looking strong offensively, especially. Then Alabama on the road, I don't care if they lost to Texas or not, it's still going to be really good. So it's almost like if you don't win this BYU game, man, you could be looking very quickly at like a 2-5 start, and things really spiral out of control. So it's very important.
One game at a time.
Oh, I know. See, they need to look at it one game at a time. I'm going to look at it as, hey, what is this going to look like if it goes badly?
I'm at the Countdown to Kickoff event that y'all had at the hall. Quite a few of the Buzz personalities were talking about just what a pivotal game the A&M is.
Yeah.
And hopefully how focused, and even the players that were there were saying how focused they're going to be, just based on 21-0 last year, and then we lose.
Thought you were going to go another direction with that, Chris, and the 11-1 prediction that went through.
Yeah, and Justin Moore, of all people, saying that there was going to be the one loss to Alabama. So,
but I'll tell you who was most entertaining for me that night, and it's probably because I could see him in person. That was Rick Schaefer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, just a Wikipedia, as they call him on Morning Mayhem.
Yeah, I mean, him being there in person is always was always entertaining just to see him. But yeah, had the whole crew there except Justin Moore, who was of course on tour. And I love the fact that Josh Nabors, the morning show guy, was given Missouri because is alma mater.
Right.
So
he was
that
put in a
perfect.
tough spot.
Oh yeah, but it was almost like that was done on purpose for some reason. I can't imagine.
But if
why
we
that
can't
would be
beat
the case.
Missouri after seeing them last weekend, I mean, surely.
Now we say that every year, though.
I
Chris.
know that's what is so frustrating. But I'm with you, Chris. I'm with you. It's like I know I'm not saying Arkansas's look great, but man, you get them at home this year. This is the time, man. You got the quarterback, you got the personnel. You got to do it. I'm sick of it.
and that's looking way far ahead. We're talking end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully the season goes a lot better before you even get to that last game.
Yeah. Did y'all? I'm curious. Did y'all go into the Little Rock game?
Yes, I did.
No.
What were your thoughts
about the whole
just the experience?
The experience. I'm going to be honest. It was pretty awful.
Yeah.
I was
I agree.
I was really disappointed just because of like the running out of the water thing, and it was hot. And I think let's be honest. Like when it's that hot, it's going to make everything exponentially worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people are just getting frustrated. But it was just it's first game. Everyone's trying to figure some things out. But the heat, the running out of the water, and then the just the crowd that was in there in the concourse, the long lines. It just it could have been done better is all I'm saying. And hopefully they learn next year where they won't have those mistakes.
I heard there were 2 gates open, and that's why there was such a bottleneck, because there were only 2 of the 12 gates, or how many gates are over there open, which that doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
that just wasn't a very good first impression walking up there and waiting in line for 45 minutes when the sun's just starting to come out.
Because the morning was amazing. The weather was great. At the Buzz tailgate, it was perfect out there. But yeah, it was unfortunate. But again, it's one of those deals where I'm hoping for next year, because you open up the season once again in Little Rock against UAPB. Maybe hey, let's learn from last year. Let's make it right this year and make it a lot easier on everybody. Because I didn't even get my ticket scanned. I just walked on in.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at that point, they were just trying to get people in.
Yeah, which was probably the smart thing to do, because you didn't want to have people missing the kickoff and everything.
And you would wonder, like, there's nobody that's approaching the gate that doesn't have a ticket that's trying to get in there. So they had no idea. If somebody was at the gate, they knew that whoever was there had tickets to come in.
Oh, yeah. And so now, that's another crazy thing, because after this weekend in Fayetteville, you're waiting 5 weeks again until you have a game in the state of Arkansas. So,
which is crazy to me.
I know.
That's why there should be a really good crowd.
Yeah, and there will be. I have no qualms about it. There's going to be a great crowd, because last time I checked the weather, I want to do it again, because I always want to know, what the weather's going to be like all leading up to it. As of right now, it's going to be a high of 81, a low of 58, but a slight overcast the whole day. So that's pretty ideal for a mid-September game in Fayetteville. So I think the crowd will be there. It'll be loud. It'll be electric, but teams got to bring it. They got to be able to control the game. And, I want to see KJ play well and see the running game go well. And, but BYU, man, they got a bunch of grown men. Like all of them are 23, 24
And you went
years
last
old.
year, right?
Yeah, to Provo.
So
Yeah.
I've heard quite a few people say, they hope that our fans are equally as nice as the fans were to the Razorbacks last year.
They won't be.
That probably is not happening.
Yeah, because when I'm walking down the street and I have a BYU fan that says, "Hey, go Hawks today, guys," I'm like,
no,
that's
not happening.
Don't do this. I'm like, if you come to the SEC, it's like, I'm used to people yelling swear words at me, even though I'm wearing the wrong shade of red, and it gets nasty. But no, I think the fans will be cordial for the most part. I'm just going to be curious what the BYU crowd looks like. There's a great Razorback crowd. It's like, how many times are people in Arkansas going to go to Provo? So I'm hoping that there's a great BYU crowd there, because people kind of sing.
How big is that stadium?
I think it was like 65,000.
Okay.
It's good size.
They may bring about 2,000.
Yeah. Beautiful weather, beautiful area too. Like, that was my first time ever in Utah and in Provo. And it will be the last.
Because that'll be the same thought. It's like, hey, we haven't been to Arkansas. Let's make a trip.
Yeah.
Let's go to Fayetteville.
Yeah. And, I don't know if they'll say the same thing, because when you have those, like when you have the mountains, like behind the stadium, it's probably not going to live up to the same expectation.
No, the scenery won't be as impressive to them.
No. I am going to Gainesville for the first time this year, though. Never been there. Heard mixed reviews, but we'll see how that goes.
It's going to be hot.
Yeah, well, it's early November. Hopefully, not too bad.
It's gonna be hot.
Yeah,
it's Florida.
It'll be better than September. That's my hope. But I know,
but at that time, leaving Arkansas going to Florida, you may want a little bit of heat.
I'll be all for it. If I can wear shorts down there, I'll be happy. I'll be thrilled.
It may not be that hot.
Yeah, I'll still find a way.
Now, did Florida win this past weekend?
Yes, they did. I don't remember who they beat. I think it was just somebody random. But yeah, they ended up taking care of business. But Yeah, there's just a lot of, like you said, uncertainty with a lot of these SEC teams. Auburn barely beating Cal, and Mississippi State barely beating Arizona in overtime. Again, those teams may be good, so I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but it's just hard to gauge exactly what it looks like now.
Cal gave that game away time after time after time.
Yeah.
They should have won that. They should have had that in hand in the third quarter.
That's your Record Life and feedback. Farrell Hogg says versus BYU, offense total yardage over under 300. It better be over.
If it's not over, Arkansas is losing. That's how I feel about it. If they don't get over 300 total yards, they've lost the game. So, but we still got a lot to talk about, folks. We're broadcasting live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall at 7211 Dollarway Road as part of the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health event. We'll have more to talk about that and a lot more coming up next on Out of Bounds. So stay with us.
Roger Scott for Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union and their Casasa checking accounts. With Casasa, earn up to 6% APY, cash rewards with no minimum balance, and refunds on ATM fees. Stop by Alcoa's new branch in Sheridan and open a free Casasa checking account or apply securely online at alcoacommunityfcu.org.
Register and make your picks now for the Bud Light SEC Pick'em Challenge. Go online on 1037thebuzz.com and pick the team you think will win each week for your chance to win.
The Main Street Food Truck Festival is back. Your favorite food trucks are rolling into town for the 12th annual Main Street Food Truck Festival. 60 food trucks of every genre, with sample sizes at each truck, live music, and fun for the whole family. Bring the family for great food and a good time on Main Street. Join the Downtown Little Rock Partnership's 12th annual Main Street Food Truck Festival from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, September 17th.
At Southern Floor Coating, coatings are all they do, and they won't be beat on price. Factory-trained installers using the purest form of polyurea with UV stability for all your outside projects. When you call, you'll talk with a professional interested in your project, not a voicemail. Don't trust a fly-by-night company that may not be in business next year. Transform your patio, porch, or pool deck and call the real pros at Southern Floor Coating. 501-402-4912 or take a look at southernfloorcoating.com.
Join Roger Scott for game day watch parties at Boudreaux's Grill and Bar, 9811 Maumelle Boulevard in North Little Rock, and cheer on our team. The fun is at Boudreaux's, your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. On a sweltering summer day in 2012, a couple pulled up to the Villa Lobos dog shelter in Louisiana and dropped off a little 12-week-old puppy like a bag of garbage. The emaciated little dog was taken in and cared for and put up for adoption, but no one took her. For weeks or for months, she was ignored and stayed in the shelter for 11 years. This sweet little dog named Vanessa is now old and gray. A kind woman from Delaware heard her story and opened her heart and home to Vanessa, where her final years will be the best of her life, where she will be loved. Just like that dear lady who welcomed Vanessa into her home, you will be greeted with a warm welcome to Doublebee's, because we're here for you. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Roger Scott, I'm going to talk to you about Sigma Supply Packaging Products and how they think outside the box. Sigma Supply, the problem solvers. Now, they've been helping business owners for years with their waste audit analysis program. They're going to come in, they're going to analyze your packaging and shipping and see if automation is what you need to cut costs. Call or text sales manager David Breitenberg with Sigma Supply, and you can schedule your waste audit analysis. Here's the number, 501-617-4600. Sigma Supply Packaging Products. If you're not using Sigma Supply, you got low-grade product, man.
Join Drive Time Sports each weekday for the Trey Biddy Report, brought to you by Asher Wrecker and Recovery. Find out the latest on the Razorback recruits and all the D1 prospects in the state each weekday. It's the Trey Biddy Report on Drive Time Sports, presented by Asher Wrecker and Recovery.
Jackalope Cycling is passionate about the Arkansas outdoors. To help you enjoy this beautiful state, Jackalope offers an array of bike rentals to get you on the trails.
What about fly fishing from a bicycle?
You can't do that, but Jackalope also offers fly rods, reels, waders, fly fishing accessories, outdoor and camping gear.
Yeah, it'll be tough riding a bicycle and waders.
But you can still enjoy the Arkansas outdoors with Jackalope Cycling in Russellville or jackalopecycling.com.
Get only the best customer service and the best selection of meats at Hogs Meat Market, where they have sliced boar head deli meats and cheeses. Hogs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Your brother wants a shot at the Catalina wine mixer.
I'm ready. I'm walking tall. You think you're ready to run with the Bulls? I've been earning and burning, snapping necks and cashing checks.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
But I guess you didn't know. As I said, the story goes. Baby, now I got the flow. Cause I knew it from the start. Baby, when you broke my heart, that I had to come again and show you that I win. Your love of mine. All those times I said that I love you. Your love of mine. Yes, I try. Yes, I try. Your love of mine. Even though you know I died for you, your love of mine. Yes, I cry. Yes, I cry. Return of the man. Return of the man. Come on, return of the man. Oh my God, you know that I can. Here I am. Return of the man. Once again, return of the man. Top of the world. Return of the man. Watch my phone. You know that I can. Here I go. So I'm back up in the game. Running thanks to take my smile. Letting all the people know that I'm back to run the show.
It's Out of Bounds live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall, right at 7211 Way Road. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, Chris Shenop of Arkansas Urology joining us. We got Todd Pierce back in the Hogs Meat Market studios with you as well. And just got a chance to talk with Chris Montgomery, who's a big listener of ours that came out here. So
Yeah, it was nice meeting Chris.
yeah, it was good to see him. He's from Missouri, but out here now living in Arkansas, listens to us every day. So
Said he's been in Arkansas for a while now, though.
yeah.
So he's an Arkansan.
Okay. What's the definition of a while? Like, is it a while can be a lot of things for other people, but yeah, it was good to talk to him and good to see him too. And again, it's good to be out here for Arkansas Urology's kickoff to men's health event, which is going to be starting up. What is that now, Chris? 9 minutes from now?
Yeah, T-minus 9 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be awesome to have everybody out here in the 65-inch big screen TV. I know is a lot of people are going to be striving for, but also coming out here and getting screenings too is really important.
You know, John and Joe, prostate cancer is one of the most common, but one of the most curable as long as it's caught early. 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed in his lifetime. And, it's kind of coincidental. When I was growing up, my granddad always said it wasn't if, but when he'd be diagnosed, just because it was so prevalent in his family and now my family. And he was diagnosed at the age of 76 and went on to live to be 99, passed away last year. So just goes to show that, if you find it, we can beat it and treat it, and you can go on to live a much longer, happier, healthier life.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
After being diagnosed, that was that another 24 years
Yeah.
or so?
Yeah. And I think at one time it used to be a kind of a death sentence, but now with all the just kind of prevention and intervention and therapies there are out there, it's a lot more. There are just so many different treatment options, and to me, that's what's exciting and nothing to be scared about,
Well, that's like we've even got a few people texting in on our Southern Structural Solutions text line, just kind of asking about the process, not necessarily in the details of it, but just about what goes into it. Is it something that's pretty quick and fast moving? Is it something they got to come out and make sure they have time to do it for an extended block? Like there's people that are obviously very curious and very much wanting to do it, but also wanting to know the details of it before they come in.
So women are 8 times more likely to go to the doctor than a guy. And for any guys or women that are out there listening to this who might be encouraging the guy in their life to come and get checked out, it's quick, it's painless, it's fast, it's efficient, something that 10 seconds or less, and to me it's a lot better than having to go through chemo or radiation or other interventional measures down the road.
Yeah,
that could change your life.
Oh yeah, because you mentioned the story and have mentioned stories of people, I'm sure, just a great success rate of those who did catch it early enough.
Mm-hmm.
and how it can be life-changing. And, you mentioned about the processes of what it would be like if you didn't come and get it checked out. I mean, that's something that alone should be able to give you enough motivation to say, hey, I think I'm okay now. I think it's all good, but it's a lot better than alternative and catching it way too late.
Yeah. And then age 40 is around the time you should start getting screens.
Yeah, with family history, if not 45, but it's so much more prevalent in minorities and African Americans and Hispanics, and especially kind of in the younger years of in your 40s. And so that's really just some of the guys that we're trying to reach.
So when people come out here from 3 to 5 this afternoon, just what's all going to be the deal as far as what's available to them, and also
over again, we'll have for anybody that's here tonight, we'll have a 65-inch TV draw for after it's all said and done. But they'll get checked out by a doctor. We'll have a few of our sponsors that'll be on hand giving out goodie bags, and really just having that reassurance of your health. I think during this time of the year, John, going back to Aaron Rodgers, and that's nothing really that type of health, but just knowing that you're getting that clean bill of health, and you're not letting something linger on that could get worse and worse as it goes.
Yeah, and everything's going to get started here in just 5 minutes or so, and so the event is ready to kick off.
Yeah, I think that we've had about 20 people register in advance, and last year we had about that same number show up. So the night of, but yeah, we're excited to be out here in Whitehall. And what is that address?
7211 Dollarway Road. Yeah. Hey, it's new to everybody, man. Yeah, and it's a great location too.
Really nice.
Really easy to get in and out of. Plenty of parking for people to step on in off the main drag here in Whitehall and Dollarway. So. Yeah, come on out, and we're right here in the front, just hanging out and waiting on it and checking it out, and really enjoy being out here too. So again, it's always a great event to be a part of each and every year around this time of year. Football season's also so crazy, but this is also a very much an important event to be a part of too. So we always enjoy and appreciate it. So, we just got a few minutes here before we take a break, but we know that. With everything going on here, folks, so again, just stop on by. It's a really easy process to do. It's 7211 Dollarway Road here in Whitehall. And again, we'll have some more details on it in the third hour of Out of Bounds, which I know is going to be coming up here soon. We're also going to talk more about the Aaron Rodgers injury that took place, as we'll have a specialist that will be joining us in the next hour with a name to be determined. So we will we have a doctor. We do know that. He's going to be discussing that, as well as talking about the other things going on in the sports land. And I know we'll have a Raise Your Hog update to get into. It's presented by True Service, which will be very important to jump into, as we'll get to hear from Sam Pittman and some of the highlights there, because I know that people are always curious and not fed up and not upset at all about the current state of the Razorback football program, which it's like, man, it could be a lot worse than what it's been. It could be a lot worse. We've seen a lot worse.
Yeah. There's some excitement coming up for this BYU game, though, just to kind of gauge a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, it's a Power 5 game, as weird as it is to say now. It's a Big 12 matchup between an SEC team against BYU. So, but we'll talk about that. And we're also going to have Dr. Tim Goodson joining us to talk more about what's going on with Arkansas Urology as part of the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health event happening right here in Whitehall. We got the third hour of Out of Bounds coming up next. You won't want to miss it, so you better stay tuned.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months. And River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
103.7 The Buzz is your home for Arkansas Razorback football coverage each week, brought to you by Genesis of Conway, Lion Legal, Bell Chevrolet, Blackman Auctions, Central Arkansas Cadillac, Bath Makeover of Arkansas, and Malvern National Bank. 103.7 The Buzz. The Hawks play here.
This is your official sports and entertainment station, Central Arkansas. We are 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
A bill to cut taxes in Arkansas passed a Senate committee. The bill would slash both individual and corporate income tax rates in the state. It would also provide a one-time non-refundable tax credit of $150 to anyone making less than $90,000 a year. About 1.1 million Arkansans would qualify for a tax cut under this bill. It now goes to the full Senate for a vote. Free prostate cancer screenings are available today in Whitehall. The free event takes place from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Whitehall Ambulatory Surgery Center on Dollarway Road. It's part of Arkansas Urology's 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health. Studies show 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Whitehall Mayor Noel Foster and Pine Bluff Mayor Shirley Washington both issued a proclamation recognizing September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in their cities. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Hey, it's Houston Nutt. I'll be on Morning May. We're going to get ready to hit that line and root on those hogs because we got the wood, y'all. And when you need a new pole barn, metal roof, or steel building, go see my friends at Reed's Metals of Benton, where you can buy direct and save online at reedsmetals.com.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
A few more scattered showers, especially early today. That rain will taper off in the afternoon. Cooler today with a high around 80 degrees, and tonight's low drops down to 64. Low 80s all the way through Friday. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Roger Scott is at it again with his Razorback Song of the Week, presented by Dr. Jimmy Tucker in Ortho, Arkansas. Join Morning Mayhem each week as the smooth, dulcet tones of Roger Scott bring you his Razorback Song of the Week. It's all brought to you by Dr. Jimmy Tucker in Ortho, Arkansas, and your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
I know the last 3 years, people have got accustomed to paying sticker price for a brand new vehicle. Well, it's not that way anymore at Red River Ram. If you're looking for a new Ram truck, we've got heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks starting at $49,500 or up to $12,000 off sticker price for a Cummins diesel. And we've got $11,000 off Ram 1500 Bighorn four-wheel drive trucks. If you want the best selection and the best buying experience, make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs. Now during Ram Power Days.
What's good, y'all? Clint Sterner here for Low T Center. Fellas, when it comes to your health, every man should know his testosterone number. What's that mean? It's simple. You need to schedule an appointment at Low T Center immediately. It's quick. It's easy. Hell, it's only $25. Walk in, take a simple blood test, get the results in about 25 minutes. So if you've been feeling tired and grumpy, sensing a lack of motivation and drive, dealing with high cholesterol, noticing stubborn weight gain and or loss of muscle mass, it's on you, fellas. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment. Low T Center. Reinventing men's healthcare.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked 2 miles off 530 exit 34 in Whitehall.
Justin Anker reminding you that if you want the job done right, then don't stress. Just go with the best. CertaPro Painters is your go-to painting company. You can get your free estimate scheduled at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. People who are going to be responsible and people who are going to be accountable to you and your family to make sure your project gets done right. So if you've been thinking about sprucing up your home or business for the fall season that is almost upon us, you need to get CertaPro on the case. Use the company that I've used many times over the years. It is CertaPro Painters. You'll be happy you did.
Hi, I'm Rick Pennington of Lions Drug. We have great news. Generic Cialis is now available at a huge savings. We have Tadalafil, the FDA-approved generic of Cialis, in a 20-milligram tablet at a savings of up to 80%. We have the 5-milligram daily tablets for less than $3 a pill. Lions Drug continues to be your go-to pharmacy for men's health. What are you waiting for? Call us today at 844-676-2247 or go to our website at lionsdrug.com.
In sports, every coach is looking for the winning combination. Arch Marine in North Little Rock is no different. The reason being, they have the winning combination. G3 boats with a Yamaha motor. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, so can you.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
AutoZone is more than a parts store. It's where we help you solve problems like, sorry I'm late, my battery died. And
I need a jump again.
At America's #1 battery destination, you can find the right battery at the right price with options starting at only $89.99. And we offer free battery testing and charging whenever you need it. Get the parts and help you need to get the job done right at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things: getting projects done right with Behr Premium Plus interior paint and football. That's right, Kirk Herbstreit. And with Behr's wall-to-wall coverage and long-lasting durable finish, you'll spend less time worrying about your walls, which means more time for football. For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Behr and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Live from the Hogs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds.
And getting away, a line drive kick is Sam Martin. Gibson runs under it at the Jet 35. Starts to his left, gets to the 40, turns the corner at the 45, 50. Blockers in front at the 40, at the Bills 30, inside the 20. Stutter steps to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Ah, it's a Jet touchdown! This game is over!
Yeah.
With John Nabors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Joe Franklin.
We won't go in the shell. We won't go in attack mode because that's what's required.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
I know that it's good. Won't you sit it on my taste buds? I get way too petty. Won't you let me do the extras? Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still beat the greatest phone. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in the spot.
2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, Chris Shenna, broadcasting live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall. Got Todd Pierce back in the Hogs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you as always for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. It's been a great show thus far. Really appreciate Arkansas Urology having us out here for the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health event. And it's getting started right now. 3 o'clock was when the events were getting kicked off. So come on out and see them at 7211 Dollarway Road here in Whitehall, as we're going to have a lot of fun and coming out and not only getting people with free screenings for a very important cause, but also getting to the point to where we are going to be giving away a 65-inch. Arkansas Urology will be giving away a 65-inch TV too. And Chris, yeah, so it's officially starts 3 o'clock. So people got to come out here.
Yeah, I've seen some guys walking in. So, the clinic is closed, and those that are walking in are a part of this event. So thank y'all for being here to help us promote it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're enjoying the new location, and it looks really good. And we're hoping for a big turnout.
And I don't want to give you all the credit, but it seems like every time y'all are here about this time of the year, we have some pretty nice weather,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been great because we were coming down here and it was raining for the most part, but Hasn't rained a drop since, but nice little cool breeze, not too hot, not too cold. I mean, it's perfect. So I guess we'll be happy for that part of it, because there was a time where, man, weather was about absolutely brutal and way too hot for that too. So let's go ahead and go to the phone lines. JK is in Fairfield Bay wanting to get in on it. What's up, JK?
Hey, can you hear me, man?
Yes, we got you, JK.
All right. I think it's interesting, guys, that we've had 2 years of everybody talking about how many running backs we have in this team, and now we've got a quarterback that can run, and now we can't open up a hole. And I just wonder, for goodness sake, we got all these running backs, and we can't open up a hole, and I just kind of wonder, Kidman, isn't he an offensive line coach? And I got to hang up and listen because I'm scratching my head, man. I got to hang up.
All right.
Thanks, JK.
Appreciate it, JK. I think that is the ultimate question that people have been talking about, and with the running backs, where it's not just one group. I think it's a collective group, as Sam Pittman said, where the offensive line is not doing their part, and the running backs aren't doing their part, and they're just trying to figure it out. But this was supposed to be the strength of the team, as we were talking about, running the ball. And when you have 2 games against opponents that you should be more physical against, and you have little to no success against them, people are going to start freaking out and saying, all right, so what's going on? Even without Rocket Sanders being there, still got talent there, but it's just not being showcased like people were hoping for.
Everybody has to work together in sync with the offensive line, the running backs, and even the receivers. If you're getting those running backs on the edge, the receivers have to help out in the run game and getting some blocks.
Yeah. It's a collective effort, and they got to find a way to just be consistent, because the last thing you want to do, and I love KJ's ability to throw, and we started talking about during the commercial break, the receivers like Isaac Teslaw and how good he looks. They got some pieces, and I even like Luke Has, the freshman tight end.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to be – I don't know if you want to be the team that has to pass to open up the run, instead of running to open up the pass. I don't know if that's the type of – if you have to do it, you'll do it, but I feel like it would be best served if they can find a way just to get the running game going and then open up for KJ to make some plays.
Yeah. I'll say there was a lot of anxiety inside of Razorback Stadium last weekend during halftime. It was pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Just the way the first half went.
Yeah. I felt like I was, which is so funny because the game went by so quickly. And I think Sam Pittman said it was a 2.5-hour game, which is like, when I started looking back, I was like, I think that's true.
So that's going to bring the balance down then with some of those games that they were talking about lasting too long.
Yeah.
That'll definitely bring the time down on that as far as the average.
Well, and it was funny because I started thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. So the game was at 3. I had to, this is how I knew it, because I had to go to the wedding. It was starting at 6. And I got to finish the whole game before I went over there. I was like, yeah, that was a 2.5 hour
you finished
game.
the whole game?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, granted, I got there at the last minute to the wedding. I got to show up right there.
5:59.
As soon as the ceremony, as soon as the bells start tolling. But yeah, it was an extremely short game. But, when we were talking about yesterday, the averages of college football games have actually not decreased. They've actually increased.
Yeah.
And
Arkansas said we're doing our part.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think Sam Pittman even talked about in the press conference today. He's called it 4 corners football almost, where he's like, there's going to be teams, and he gave credit to what Kent State was doing. They're like, we're just going to hold the ball and let this clock run and have possession. And if you're not playing well, we're just going to make sure that we keep it. Now, they didn't, luckily for Arkansas, didn't score a lot of points, but there's probably some ideas that teams are going to have going up against bigger opponents or whatnot. They'll be like, all right, well, we're going to use this new rule to our advantage in that regard.
And the time of possession, to me, that's what was so scary about the first half. We just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
It was out of our control.
Yeah, that's a bad deal there too. So, but again, we're live from Arkansas Urology as we are having some fun here as part of the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health event, and we have a very special guest joining us right now is Dr. Goodson. And Doc, appreciate you joining us. How you doing this afternoon?
Well, thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So just talk to us about the event that's going on here, and I know you being a part of Arkansas Urology is, of course, a great thing to be a part of, especially with the Kickoff to Men's Health Awareness.
Well, we have done this, I'm going to guess, for 20 years. Chris may know better than I do.
Annual, yeah.
19?
Yeah.
And of course, I've been a part of it, I think, most, maybe missed a year or two. But it's very gratifying. You're offering this free screening for something that we do, that we care about and do day to day. And It's a great service to the community, and you get guys excited about the fact that there's a little bit of a brotherhood that kind of comes into play. We've made a lot of progress, quite frankly, because men, we tend to be reticent and kind of a lot of us want to put blinders on and just kind of ignore our health care. And I think that the whole push to screen for prostate cancer has kind of opened up a lot of other areas where guys are probably not as proactive as they should be. And I think the whole kind of thing about the cancer screening for prostate cancer, maybe the guys' embarrassment or reticence about that has kind of diminished. I think guys are a little bit more, hey, if it's the right thing to do and you just have to do it once a year, let's get it done.
And the key to it is getting guys to come in for that initial screening. And once they do it, then they can get in the routine of doing it once a year and take care of it from there. And the right age to start the process is about 40.
Well, 40 for anyone who has any kind of prostate cancer history in their family, and then African American community. If neither of those two things are true, you can start at 50. But I mean, overall, I have seen a lot of prostate cancer even younger than that. And so in certain situations, I'll screen younger than those ages, but that's kind of the recommendation.
Well, we were just talking about how, many years ago, it may have been a different concept, but getting and able to be able to see it early and the difference that can make. And with the technology and the medicine that's going on right now, I think that's also just a huge motivating factor for people to get checked, to where it's a lot better than the alternative of if you end up catching it too late and having to go through those immediate processes.
Oh, there's no question. Yeah. Early detection is the key, because it can kind of end up being a little bump in the road if you catch something early. If a guy didn't screen and it's been growing there for year after year until it finally kind of gets his attention, then it can really be a lot bigger impact on his life and his lifestyle and just personal health. But the key is, as you just said, that screening early on. If you do that every year, the likelihood of you really getting into kind of serious problem that can't be treated pretty reasonably is really low. So yeah, that's the thing. The sooner the better.
Dr. Goodson, I'm just curious, I know that I've heard you tell stories over the years just about not only you're saving your patients' lives, but also these are dads and husbands and brothers and sons. How impactful is that for you as a physician?
Well, I enjoy, one of the reasons I love urology is that we get this kind of combination of surgery and time in the operating room, which I really enjoy. But we also get a lot of time in the clinic, and so we get to know our patients. And my mentor, Dr. Mac Moore, who many probably listening know exactly who I'm talking about. He was my mentor, and when he retired, which is a couple of years ago, we talked about the fact that his patients had become his friends and his friends had become his patients.
Right.
And so, I think that's, to some degree, that's what we like to do. We like to get to know folks, and I have seen, I've had a gentleman who was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and based on the family connection, we ended up diagnosing his father and his brother.
Oh, wow.
And so you do, there is a family, predisposition for prostate cancer. So that's one of the keys. And we talk about that oftentimes on these new diagnoses. If they haven't had a history of family, of prostate cancer in their family, it doesn't mean that they don't have one, so you got to kind of run that trap too.
For someone who hasn't been through the process of a screening and they're thinking about coming in, how long does a screening take once they get here?
Oh, it's not long at all. And it doesn't look like we've got much of a line right now. So you can come in, you get your blood drawn. The exam literally takes a minute. So the whole thing, you can probably get in and out in 10 minutes, even with the paperwork. So we've got to just get some information on someone so we can communicate their results from both the blood draw and the exam. So yeah, it is not a long process and so important.
So what have been some of the changes and the upgrades and the additions of things just in urology itself over the past 5-10 years?
Yeah, it's been incredible. It really has. To some degree, we're kind of now living in the golden era of prostate cancer treatment, because before, and I'm talking about cases that were metastatic, that gotten outside the prostate gland, very serious situations. I probably have 8 or 10 treatments that I didn't have 8 or 10 years ago for those advanced cases. So we've kind of always been good at treating locally confined disease, which is where we want to screen and where we want to treat. But when that doesn't happen, we have so many options now for treatment, and it's gotten even better because we now have better imaging, so that we can find disease that originated in the prostate gland that we couldn't have identified before at a much earlier time frame. Again, that kind of early detection, even when you're talking about disease that's outside the gland, it makes all the difference in the world. So yeah, it's just remarkably better.
Yeah,
it really is.
Well, Doc, we really appreciate you coming on and telling us all about this, because I know it's a very important thing, and we have a lot of men in our listening audience. It's kind of our demo, and it's something that's very important that we know that they are going to take advantage of and need to take advantage of. So we appreciate you coming on and telling us more about not only this event, but just the importance of getting your prostate checked.
Well, thank you for having me. And of course, y'all have been great partners with us, for a number of years now. And like you said, we're kind of speaking to the guy population, which y'all do so well. And we appreciate the support and the way y'all have triumphed or kind of promoted this cause.
Absolutely.
So thanks
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely.
Hey, I want to give one plug. Dr. Goodson's wife is chair of our big event, October 14th. This is called the Awesome Event. Judith Goodson, who's on our foundation board. So it's a family affair.
Excellent.
It is. No, she's excited. I think she's done a great job with that. So it'll be a fun time.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, hey, get back to doing some screenings out here. It's going to be a great day for you. So.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Dr.
Appreciate
Goodson.
it. Yes. And again, that was Dr. Goodson joining us of Arkansas Urology. And we're going to be out here till 4 o'clock this afternoon, but the festivities continue on from 3 to 5 this afternoon here at the Whitehall location at 7211 Dollarway Road. We know that there's also been a lot of talk about the Aaron Rodgers injury, and let's talk with somebody who knows all about it as we go to the guy who knows about sports injury, Dr. Gordon, joining us on the phone lines. And Doc, appreciate you being patient with us. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Well, just going through it, because obviously we know that this has been taking over the topic of the show really all day, of the Aaron Rodgers injury. It's something that, when you see at first glance, some people said it was serious. Some people said hard to tell. But for you, when you saw it take place, was it something that you could identify pretty immediately, or was it something that could have been a various amount of things for Aaron Rodgers?
Well, it was definitely worrisome, especially someone his age, since he is getting up there. I think he's like 39 now, and that Achilles tear, it can happen in younger people, but definitely something we see more in older people, or kind of the mid-40s or so. Could have been a high ankle sprain the way he kind of got landed on from the back there, and then, of course, could have been the Achilles. So, unfortunately, it's torn, and he looks like he's out for the season now, which is terrible.
Dr. Gordon, Aaron Rodgers early in training camp had a calf injury, which sidelined him for a bit. How much does the calf injury play into the Achilles injury? We hear sometimes that whenever somebody's dealing with that calf injury, that it could lead to an Achilles injury.
Yeah, definitely so. And normally that's not the case. And that's what's kind of scary about these Achilles is most of the time we see them, it's almost like they just randomly pop. I mean, someone goes to push off, they're playing basketball, but didn't have any pain or problems before, and then they also that tendon will just tear. But we definitely also do see occasionally like a minor injury, like just a strain, where maybe the tissue got a little damaged, a little weakened, but recovered, but wasn't quite 100%. And then something like that happened, and then bam, there it goes. Really tough injury for him.
Yeah, because that's been at least the question, because I'm a Jets fan, which really sucks for me for many reasons. But just looking at him and at his age, because we know he's up there in his late 30s, I think he's 39 years old. and an injury like this, he's still got time on his contract, and people were wondering, is he going to come back? Do you see it being something that he can rehab and come back from pretty easily after time and healing it, or with his age and everything, is it something that could end up being his final stint into the NFL as a quarterback?
Well, I'd say I definitely think it's possible for him to come back. I don't think this is the end of his career necessarily, but I'd say it's likely done for this season for sure. I mean, the recovery from this is long, and it does take time to heal, but then also to build strength back in it. It's so sad how quickly, when these get damaged, how quickly the calf will just atrophy, the muscle shrinks, and then it takes a long time to build it back up. And then, of course, you got to worry if you get him out there too quick that it could re-tear again. So, yeah, it's very tough, and I hate it for not only Jets but for football, because I think him being out there with the new team made it more exciting and funner to watch.
Hey, Dr. Gordon, this is Chris Shinup. Hung out with you down in Auburn for the game. We just had
that's right.
Josh Sullivan's a good buddy of mine. We just had one of your other good friends, Dr. Goodson, on here. We're out at Arkansas Urology today for our kickoff to Men's Health. But
oh yeah, my urologist. There he is, Tim Goodson.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for all that you're doing for Arkansans and your line of work. And at Arkansas Urology over here, we're here to support y'all.
Cool. Well, good. Hope it goes well. That's a really good cause and something. I heard Dr. Goodson talking. He is not wrong about all that stuff. Definitely need to stay on top of that and try to prevent, what we can.
Sure. Dr. Gordon, what's the typical time frame to recover from an Achilles injury?
Well, it depends what you mean by recovery. I mean, I imagine you can actually treat those without surgery, but I'm sure for him being more active, they'll probably operate. The surgery itself is not that bad. It takes about 30, 45 minutes. And then he'll probably be in a boot for about 6 weeks or so afterwards. And then normally about the 6-week point, it's not completely healed, but healed enough they can start rehabbing and building it back up. And then by 3 months, people are doing pretty good as far as standing, walking, getting around, and can consider starting to kind of ease back into sports type stuff. So I'd say for basic walking, about 6 weeks, people are doing good, and then about 3 months for more aggressive activities. But even then, like I said, it still takes months and months to get the strength back to where it was before. They really were talking 6, 9 months, sometimes even a year before you're really back 100%.
We're speaking to Dr. Gordon here on Out of Bounds from Ortho, Arkansas. And Dr. Gordon, tell us more about the recovery process when you don't have surgery, because in most cases we've heard about you immediately have surgery.
Yeah, and that's what we do. There's different pluses and minuses to each approach. But basically, without surgery, what they would do is put his foot in plantar flexion. So if ankle down, you're trying to, if you imagine the tendon's like a rope and the two ends are torn, you just try to get the pieces or the ends of the rope back together as close as you can by pointing the foot down. And then you put them in a cast. And surprisingly, that thing, it will start to scar in there. And then after a few weeks, you can take them out of the cast and bring the ankle up a little bit and then recast them. So you go through that process of trying to get it to heal in and slowly stretching it back out. But basically, non-operative treatment means a cast for the first 6 to 8 weeks and then into a boot from there. The downside is that if it scars in like that, it normally heals in a little bit looser than what it was originally. And it's likely to re-tear again because it's just healed in by scar tissue and not normally direct tendon to tendon healing. So that's why younger people who are trying to be active normally repair it so you can get good strength back in the tendon and decrease risk for it to re-tear again.
Well, Doc, we really appreciate you joining us, breaking it all down. You know a lot more about it than any of us, so it's good to have you on, and appreciate all that Ortho Arkansas does for the buzz, and appreciate you breaking it down for us.
Sure, no problem. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely. Again, that was Dr. Eric Gordon joining us from from Ortho Arkansas, talking more about the Aaron Rodgers injury, but we have a lot more to talk about coming up next here on Out of Bounds, live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall. Stay with us.
Fence Brokers presents Razorback Graffiti every Monday morning. Call Morning Mayhem and let them know how you feel about how they did. One sentence and one sentence only.
This is SportsCenter,
In the NFL, the Chiefs and defensive lineman Chris Jones have agreed to a one-year deal worth up to $25 million after incentives. His base salary is worth $19.5 million. He missed week 1 due to the contract dispute. Between missing the game, training camp, and workouts, he was fined $3.6 million. Jones is coming off a season where he had 15.5 sacks. Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins is likely to hit free agency next offseason as he doesn't intend to negotiate with Cincinnati after an initial low offer. Higgins had 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. And the Arkansas Travelers entered their final regular season series. They'll face the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, and they'll play 1.5 games today, as Game 1 will be a completion of a game started on July 9th. That game will start in the bottom of the 4th with the Naturals up 4-3. First pitch is set for 5:15. First pitch of the second game is set for 7:05. Coverage of both games can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Fellas, Clint Sterner here. Let me get your attention real quick, man. If you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. What's that mean? If you want to get back to feeling your best, you need to schedule your health assessment at Low T Center ASAP. It's quick, it's easy, and now it's convenient. Low T Center offers monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month, cash pay, or covered by most health insurance. If you don't live near a Low T Center or you just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center got you. They'll ship your treatments directly to your home. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Mike Poor at Whitetail Properties Real Estate presents the Razorback Key to Victory each Thursday on Drive Time Sports. Randy and Rick preview the game and what it will take for the Razorbacks to win. The Key to Victory brought to you by Mike Poor at Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
This is Pat Bradley for Brewskis. Don't miss a single NFL game this week. Monday night, the Bills take on the Jets. Quarterback showdown, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. Thursday night, it's the Vikings versus Eagles. Jalen Hurts look to stay in championship form. Sunday, the full schedule, 13 NFL games. Gridiron Brunch and Sunday Fun Day drink specials start at 11 a.m. And next Monday, it's a double-header Monday Night Football. Saints versus Panthers and Browns versus Steelers. Brewskis, you home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter agents Monica Reiners or Brian Kress in North Little Rock or Jamie Marsh in Little Rock.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, get up to $1,500 off select major kitchen appliances and save 10% when you buy select James Hardie plank siding in bulk. Visit us today in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Offer valid 8/24 through 9/13. Exclusions apply while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details. Selection varies by location. Discount taken at the time of purchase.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable, fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
A motorcycle seems pretty simple. It has one engine, two wheels, and plenty of attitude. But you crash one of these babies, and things get complicated quick. That's when you need these guys.
At Rainwater Holton section, we keep it simple. When the insurance company tries to pay you less, we fight to get you more.
No hassle, no confusing legal terms, and no fee unless we get money for you.
Keep it simple. Call Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton. Motorcycle crash, anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888. Non-lawyer spokesperson. Responsible for Michael Rainwater, Bob Sexton.
Check out Hogs Meat Market's monthly specials and meat packages at hogsmeatmarket.com. Hogs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Trying to reach the green from here, shooter? That's not possible, sir. I beg to differ. Happy Gilmore accomplished that feat no more than an hour ago.
Well, moron, good for Happy Gilmore. Oh, my God.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever you are. Hey, hey. soldier, riding with my top down, with my jury on. Hey, I'm just getting my hood on. I'm just doing my thing.
It's Out of Bounds here on Trigger Tuesday, but one thing that we never have to worry about triggering us, of course, is Gwatney Chevrolet with the greatest deals you'll ever see when it comes to all of your vehicle needs, because right now they have a deal going on for the 2023 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, 0% APR plus no monthly payments for 90 days when you finance with GM Financial, plus $750 cash allowance. Again, that's a 2023. That's brand spanking new Chevy Silverados and that 1500s. They have plenty of inventory over there. But they also have great other vehicles to choose from, whether it's the Chevy Equinox or the Chevy Tahoe. But it's truck season right now. You're tailgating. You're going to high school football games. You're going to college football games. Maybe if you're going to NFL games and you want to enjoy some of the tailgating life, then the Chevy Silverado is for you. So you need to check it out today. You can go over there in Jacksonville at Gwatney Chevrolet at 1301 TP White Drive. There's a reason why they're Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer, because they do it right, not only with the amount of inventory that they have with the award-winning sales team, the service team, everything when it comes to Gwatney Chevrolet, they're going to have you covered for all of your vehicle needs. So check them out today at Gwatney Chevrolet and GwatneyChevrolet.com. And we are here live from Arkansas Urology in Whitehall. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, got Chris Shinup here with us once again. As we just got 30 minutes left of the show, but we also have the event of the Arkansas annual Arkansas Urology's Kickoff to Men's Health event going on from 3 to 5 this afternoon. But we can go to the phone lines as Ross has been patiently holding as well. What's up, Ross?
Hey, guys. Listen, I want to put in a quick plug for getting the prostate check. My father-in-law suffered from that. And, you know, just the chemo that's required and the radiation that's required, either one of those can set you back permanently, even kill you. My mom almost died with chemo when she had the breast cancer. So it just takes 10 seconds. That's it. They're in, they're out, they're done. So get it done. It's not worth it. One thing I wanted to point out was I keep hearing everybody panicking over running games, big problems, running games, big problems. We hadn't blown these guys out. Well, if everybody will go back to 2015, the offensive coordinator at Arkansas was Dan Enos, and the offensive line coach was Sam Pittman. And we lost to Toledo 16-12 in the second game of the season. Even with Austin Allen throwing for 400 yards. But then the next 3 games, which was Texas Tech, Texas A&M, and at LSU, we ran for over 200 yards in all 3 games. So we just need to be patient. It's going to get worked out. They're going to be fine.
All right. Well, appreciate the phone call, Ross. Thanks so much for listening, and thanks for the shout-out of the importance of getting your prostate checked, as well as trying to calm the masses for people that are worried about Razorback football right now. But yeah, we've brought that up a few times, too, of that 2015 season when Dan Enos was his first year as OC. And, you know, the game against Toledo in Little Rock, they lost 16-12. And that was a weird game because I think Brandon Allen threw for 400 yards, but I even think that, like, Arkansas had, like, 600 yards offense, but 12 points. Like, that was a weird game. Yeah. And then a guy by the name, I don't know if anyone heard of him, Patrick Mahomes for Texas Tech came into Fayetteville, and they won the next week. But they got it going on, though. Then that's in fact, you know, you went 7-5 that year, but you went 5-3 in SEC play. That's the last time you had a winning record in an SEC season in football. So, you know, maybe that happens this year, but you just don't want to get caught up and just assume, it'll be fine. But, you know, we'll lose to BYU and LSU. No, you got to get it going right now. You got to figure it out.
Got to keep those wins coming.
Yeah.
And they haven't lost a game yet.
No.
So people are panicking for reasons that they see of things happening in the game, but they're still undefeated.
Hey, it could be worse. I mean,
we know.
It could be North Texas and a fake punt, and you know, us being down 24-0 in the first quarter. But
yes,
you know,
yes. Like if the worst of this season is going to be what we saw on Saturday, then Arkansas is going to be fine.
Yeah,
you just don't want to regress. You want to continue to get better. That's the important thing. But listen, the time is now because I know you have a non-conference game. I guess is at FIU later in the season, I believe.
Yes.
But right now it's like you're playing Power 5 teams the rest of the way. And the next after this BYU one, you got 4 of them straight away from your home stadium. Like you got a tough game against Florida on the road. And you have to start getting it and figured it out now, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a pretty sucky show on Monday if we have to sit here and talk about how Arkansas lost to BYU at home because they ran for 82 yards, and that's why they lost. Like that's not something that anyone wants to hear or wants to do or wants to talk about, because if they lose that game, you're not going to feel good about winning really any of the other games down the stretch.
And y'all been around Coach Pittman some. Do you think, based on his demeanor after the game and the press conference, do you think maybe he's a little more fired up and treating the players a little differently this week in practice?
I know that he's talked about how he's approached just his demeanor in general towards the team. And because I even think he mentioned that too, where there was times he felt like he was just trying to almost be like the good cop compared to some of the bad cop from some of the assistant coaches. But I think he's tried to approach it to where he's like, I'm expecting a lot more. And I don't know if that's just with his team or even just his demeanor with everybody. But he's just like, says, I'm expecting more. So hopefully whatever he's doing, hopefully it works out. But as far as him changing his demeanor, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's addressed that before, where he said when he came in, he wanted to be the guy that everybody liked. But that doesn't necessarily work the best for the team. You have to do what's best for the team. Yeah. And in this case, maybe you have to get after some players. Maybe you have to get after some coaches to make sure they're doing what they need to do. And whatever is going to be best for the team to get everybody going in the right direction, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if nothing else, it's a much-needed wake-up call before it's too late. We can turn some things around before Saturday night.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to, is just seeing how they respond, because I think it'll show a lot about this team. And if they respond well, if they come out and suddenly they are establishing the run a little bit more effectively, that's a great sign for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But like that, and who knows, maybe it's a good thing that they're getting kind of some fire thrown to them by people. Be like, hey, you guys haven't arrived. You haven't done anything. Yeah, you may have won, but this ain't going to cut it if you're trying to try to win in this conference.
Yeah.
So,
and they realize that people on the outside are talking, but inside there, they know what's going on. They know they need to play better. They know, and it's not even about them not giving effort, which, people on the outside will say at times. It's just overall, they realize they need to play better.
Yeah. I want to see more Isaiah Satania. I want to see him have the ball in his hands a lot more. Keep hearing about Tyrone Broden, that 6'7" wide receiver. Not saying the wide receivers have been bad, but it's like, I know they got some dudes that can play, and they got some athletes, they got some speed. I want to see if they can open it up a little bit more and see what these guys are capable of, especially Centania. I feel like if he's got the ball in his hands, no matter where he's at on the field, he's got a chance to take it the distance.
Yeah. I mean, I think they made some good halftime adjustments, and obviously the second half was a lot better than the first half. So,
yeah,
in the day, it's a lot better than the alternative.
Oh, yeah. It's like we talked about yesterday, too. I know it's right to be critical right now, but if Arkansas at the end of the year, say they have a great year, go like 9-3 or something like that, I don't think anybody's going to look back on the season and be like, yeah, 9-3 was great, but that game against Kent State, that was terrible, and that still ruined my season. Like, no, you won the game. Yeah. It wasn't pretty, but you won the game. You just gotta continue to improve and continue to get people healthy, and you got to get Rocket Sanders back, hopefully, for LSU. Hopefully take care of business this weekend without him, but you got to make sure that he's healthy for LSU, because night games in Baton Rouge we know that's not an easy thing. No matter who you are, no matter who LSU is, it's not an easy thing.
Have y'all been down there?
No, I have not. Almost scared to. Fear for my life. End up, going missing for a few days. I don't know, but they're pretty ruthless down there.
Yeah, I heard that atmosphere is one of a kind.
So you're going to the Florida game? That's your away game this year?
Yes, and I'm trying to go to the Ole Miss game, even though it's the most overrated tailgating of all time. Even though I like to make jokes about it.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like once you get in the stadium, it's just such a letdown, because everybody's still
at the Grove.
Yeah.
I'm to try to do that one. I'm not going to Bama. I've done that, and that's, I don't know. I was not a fan of that one, but it's still a cool place. I'm trying to check off every SEC venue in football.
Next up, Vandy.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't like to go to Vandy. Nashville's an easy trip from Little Rock. I mean, it's 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah, I've been there when we've won and when we've lost.
And that'd be painful.
Yeah, but at the time, Central game was more populated than the Vanderbilt Stadium. But I think they've made some improvements and upgrades over the years.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they're still an SEC team. I'm excited whenever it gets scheduled for Arkansas to go to Austin or to Norman.
Yeah.
Because I've always heard about Austin. I've never been, but
Austin is nice.
Yeah. And knowing that at that point in time, it's not going to be next year, but maybe the year after that in 2025. gets to see Arch Manning more than likely, you would think, instead of Quinn Ewers. But I want to go there. And also Norman. It's an easy, not saying easy trip, an easier trip, for Fayetteville people in Northwest Arkansas, especially just making it. They've never had a close game to just drive to, and that'll be like the first conference game they ever had it happen at. So
I guess that'll be like the old SWC days.
Pretty much. It's got a feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering, that's the big question of when that game, talk about games in Little Rock, and I think that the game in Arlington's ending after 2024 for sure, at least against A&M. But I also don't think Jerry's not going to have his team, his Razorbacks, not playing in there in some capacity at some point. So
yeah, it could be every other year or every now and then.
Yeah,
may not be every year, but yeah, that's a nice stadium to play in and have that at your access of being able to play there.
Yeah,
despite the losses.
Yes, yes, exactly. Like let's mix up the teams a little bit. Like I think it'd be cool to play. Hey, play SMU there. They're now an ACC team, so you play them. Play Baylor.
That'd be awesome.
Play TCU. Play some teams that are not in the conference, but old Southwest. That's what it was all about. The Southwest Conference foes. That's what it was about. But we're already heading into our final break. We're live from Arkansas Urology here in Whitehall. It's part of the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health event. We'll tell you all about that with 3 and outs and close up shop and get you ready for Drive Time Sports. It's all next year on Out of Bounds. So stay with us.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Jackalope Cycling is passionate about the Arkansas outdoors. To help you enjoy this beautiful state, Jackalope offers an array of bike rentals to get you on the trails.
What about fly fishing from a bicycle?
You can't do that, but Jackalope also offers fly rods, reels, waders, fly fishing accessories, outdoor and camping gear.
Yeah, it'll be tough riding a bicycle in waders.
But you can still enjoy the Arkansas outdoors with Jackalope Cycling in Russellville or jackalopecycling.com.
Fence Brokers presents Zach Williams every Tuesday when he gets in the zone with Justin and Wes to talk about what's happening on the Hill and what to expect from this week's big game. Zach Williams in the zone from Fence Brokers, going the extra mile.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months. And River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
I know the last 3 years people have got accustomed to paying sticker price for a brand new vehicle. Well, it's not that way anymore at Red River Ram. If you're looking for a new Ram truck, we've got heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks starting at $49,500 or up to $12,000 off sticker price for a Cummins diesel. And we've got $11,000 off Ram 1500 Bighorn four-wheel drive trucks. If you want the best selection and the best buying experience, make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs. Now during Ram Power Days.
This is David Dunn with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Do you own or operate Max, Volvos, Freightliners, Kenworths, Peterbilts, or international trucks? We can offer you the same dealership level computer diagnostics with highly trained and professional mechanics without dealership wait times and cost. Whether you're a municipality, fleet, or small business with one truck, come see why our customers have made us the highest rated independent repair shop in Arkansas. Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Take exit 7 on I-440 or call 568-2185.
You know, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. QC Kinetics can change your life. You can live again without chronic joint pain and without drugs or surgery. Hey everybody, it's RJ Hawk. QC Kinetics is advanced regenerative medicine. They take your body's own concentrated healing properties and put them right back into your joints to restore and repair that damaged tissue without surgery. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Finally, a new alternative to the old ways of dealing with pain. And unlike surgery, there's no downtime with QC treatments. If you have constant pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, or back, you need to call and get a free consultation from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics today. Imagine this fall moving around pain-free, doing the things that you love again, like walking, hiking, or even playing with those grandkids. Call QC Kinetics today for that free consultation. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
Tap Time with Bryce Knoll and Scott Parton, presented by New Province Brewing, returns this Thursday at 7. Tap Time is Little Rock's premier radio show for beer lovers by beer lovers. Tap Time, Thursday from 7 to 8 on 103.7 The Buzz, live from the Edwards Food Giant Studios.
Same great deals, all new location for Hogs Meat Market in North Little Rock at 3901 JFK Boulevard. Call them today at 501-758-7700 for all their specials at Hogs Meat Market, the steak people.
Kane is in the building. Their time is done. It's over.
Over? Did you say over?
Nonsense. I've not yet begun to defile myself.
Call Kenny Loggins because you're in the danger zone. I play real sports. I'm trying to be the best at exercising.
It's time for 3 and Out. It's been 3 hours, and we are...
Boom. Out of here.
All right, it is time for 3 and Out. A few headlines, a few storylines, a few things that we got to dive into as we are wrapping it up with our time here at Arkansas Urology for the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health event. And one of the things that's, at least I call it humorous, it's called my dark humor, but we know with the Aaron Rodgers injury that happened last night, Jack's American Pub on Milwaukee's east side, they were offering free drinks this season when the Jets and Aaron Rodgers lose a game. And the rules had to be that tabs must be open 15 minutes before kickoff, no pitchers, no top shelf liquor or food, just beer, and Rodgers must start the game. And they were having a lot of people all coming in, and it was a huge deal. And when Aaron Rodgers left the game with an injury, the place went nuts because they were like, oh, my goodness, we are about to. So they started running towards the bar, running up those tabs, getting beers after beers after beers after beers, because this is it. This is a perfect situation. Aaron Rodgers is not going to play, but he did start. And now Bills are going to take care of business. We're going to get all this free beer. And then Aaron Rodgers ended up not mattering for the Jets in the end because they got the victory, and they had a live local television shot when it all happened, and there were a lot of irate people that had a lot of great taps. So kudos to that bar there in Milwaukee, because they made a ton of money off of that story. But again, it was pretty humorous to see those people who are Green Bay fans be so happy, but also so disappointed when all was said and done.
There was a dog that was lost at the Atlanta airport, which happens to be the busiest airport in the world. And it's amazing that this dog was recovered and returned to the rightful owners after 3 weeks. The dog was just running loose at the airport and was returned to the rightful owners. 3 weeks. It's amazing.
Yeah. And the odds of that happening for like anybody else is so slim. So happy for those people that were able to get their dog back. On Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. X.
Everybody needs to
X
get
World.
used to it. That's what's happening.
X World. Well,
it's X.
On X, they have the feature that if you're verified, you can edit a tweet after you send the tweet. And luckily, Patrick Mahomes edited his tweet from the original version, because when Aaron Rodgers went out with an injury, it read, "Hate that man, praying for the best." But it didn't have the comma in "hate that." So he revised it to say, "Hate that man, praying for the best," because originally it read as if he hated that man, and glad that it happened. I don't think anybody would have caught on to it or cared, but when he edited it, it called attention to it because you can see the original tweet. But at least he was able to fix the tweet and not have to deal with it. But still kind of a funny moment that comma and grammar, that does matter even on X these days.
Kate Winslet, we know that she's done some scenes before that there are some people that look forward to some of those scenes. And she said that as far as her physical appearance, that she doesn't waste her precious energy on criticizing her appearance at the time. She said that, she'll go in and do the scenes as is. It's not that she's putting in a lot of work building up to them. And she said that she's just not wasting energy on the criticism that comes along with it. She just does it as is, does her job, and keeps it moving.
Well, we all know about Bryce Mitchell, Thug Nasty, very famously here in the state of Arkansas, UFC fighter. Well, he took to social media. I can't play the clip, but he's asking for some help because there in his residence at Searcy in the local community, his, quote, evil ex-girlfriend has allegedly destroyed all of the fruit trees on his property.
Oh, boy.
And he says that she owns a tattoo shop and she's vengeful and she is very dangerous and even has made threats towards all of his animals. And he's terrified of what she may do next. So he is out there asking for everybody to be on the lookout and make sure that, if there's anything that they see that's an ordinary or anything like that, to let him know. But he's afraid that after destroying his fruit trees, what might happen to his animals there in Searcy.
Heidi Klum says this year for Halloween, it's going to be really extra. Now, she's had some costumes before where she's been Fiona from Shrek. She's been a flesh-eating alien, but she says this year it's going to be really extra. You know me. I have to admit it. I love it. And then in my gut, I feel like it's going to be good. So she's looking forward to Halloween like she always does.
How does one dress up as a flesh-eating alien? Like, do you have a sign that says that it's your flesh-eating?
Well,
you're an alien?
A lot of makeup goes into it, and we know as actors that they have access to it, and so she puts a lot of time and work into it.
Oh, okay. Well, for those of you who may be in the Kansas City area and looking for a man, you may be in luck because Travis Kelce has announced that he may get back on Tinder there in Kansas City to try to find true love. As we know, he's had a few women in his life, then it's always been hit or miss for him, but he's looking to be back on the prowl. So if you are very interested in Travis Kelce, I would suggest trying to get in within the 100-mile radius up there of Kansas City of where he's located and swipe right because you may have a chance to go on a date with Travis Kelce.
Seems like everybody is getting in the Halloween spirit early. There are a lot of stories here about Halloween, but Mountain Dew is introducing Mountain Voodoo and Mountain Voodoo Zero for Halloween, and it's hitting shelves starting today. So if you're looking for that, and it happens to be a mystery flavor for these drinks.
So you don't know what the flavor is. It's just called Voodoo, and you got to trust them?
Yep.
All right. That is a lot of trust. I don't know if I'd have that much trust, but that is a lot of trust. I love Mountain Dew. Don't get me wrong, but that's asking a lot. So there's a new report, according to NJ.com and the Michael Kay show on ESPN New York, that he says, quote, I have it on good authority that Brian Daboll had a huge party at his house on Saturday night, and you're not throwing a big party if you're about to get your butt kicked by the Cowboys. So this took everyone by surprise, and that's what's scary. Nobody expected this sort of blowout. They thought that they were going to play with them, and they didn't even show up. That scares me, guys. That tells me that they don't even know their team. There's no way the head coach could throw a huge team party like that the night before the opener and think that there's any chance of them going to get blown out. So
yeah, he was confident that they were going to handle their business, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So now it becomes a story.
Yeah. 40-0 opening night at home.
I wonder if it was a fun party.
Oh, it had to be.
It better have some sort of redeeming quality after getting your butt kicked like that at the Cowboys.
Shaq recently did an interview with Bobby Altoff on the Really Good podcast, and he kind of jokingly said to her that he was going to go skydiving, that they wanted to go skydiving together, but then he later admitted that he's too tall for it, and he's never been able to do certain things like that. Those are some things that, some of the benefits or not benefits of being as tall as he is. He hasn't been able to do some of the things like skydiving or even scuba diving.
I didn't even know you had to be certain size to go skydiving or scuba diving. I thought it's just you wanted to do it. Is it maybe?
Have y'all been?
No.
Absolutely not.
Not happening.
Yeah. And listen, I'll go scuba diving all day long. But
yeah, that might be a stretch too.
Yeah.
Depending on where it is.
I do that because I feel like I can at least maybe be in somewhat of a control situation.
Yeah.
But skydiving, it's like you don't know. You don't really know what's going on. So we just got a little bit before we get out of here. But Chris, really appreciate you having us out here.
Yeah.
And it's Again, come on out here, folks, until 5 o'clock this afternoon here in Whitehall at Arkansas Urology.
And, I did hear from one of our providers that they will be here probably until closer to 6.
Okay.
If anybody does want to come a little bit later, back to our normal hours. But thank you all for being here. It's a fun tradition, and it's an important event for our community here in Whitehall.
No question about it. 7211 Dollarway Road here in Whitehall. Come on out to Arkansas Urology for the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health event. For Chris Shinup and Todd Pierce back in the Hogs Meat Market Studios and Joe Franklin, I'm John Nabors. Same sports show, same sports channel tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned, folks. Drive Time Sports coming up next.
It's Justin Anker reminding you that Certa Pro Painters is